This is a production of SDPB.
Touchdown! This is for a state championship. Oh, drive kick, and it's good.
There's going to be some highlights coming off of this.
The short-range jumper.
Edging out in lane 4, the top seed.
This South Dakota High School State Championship event is conducted under the direction of the South Dakota High School Activities Association.
Good morning and welcome back inside Wachs Arena in the Barnett Center campus of Northern State University in Aberdeen. I'm Brad DeBeer alongside Steve Erickson. Championship Saturday here on SDPB and the Class B State Boys Basketball Championships. And we have had, I guess we've been spoiled to say the least with the 8 games we've had. Of course, the one got away yesterday with Castlewood running away from Lyman a little bit. But other than that, Steve, what a great 2 days of basketball thus far.
Yeah, it's been a wonderful time here, and again, we've talked about how Aberdeen rolls out the red carpet, and again this year, great job, and the teams have not disappointed from the get-go. So it's been a great day, and they're a great weekend, and looking to a great final day.
And not just Aberdeen and the fact that Northern State hosts it here and Aberdeen Central's crew, but the whole city. As I drove from the hotel here or whatever, grabbed something to eat or whatever, all the signs that the digital signs has something about welcoming the Class B fans. And for Class B, they're giving pizza deals and savings on gas and whatever. I mean, it's just pretty cool how they just open up their city.
Yeah, and they've done that for quite a while here, and that's why the Class B kind of feels like this is home, and the way they get treated and respected up here in Aberdeen, and do a great job. So there it is. Aberdeen's the place to be.
That's awesome. What a great way. And they embrace it. You're right. They embrace having the opportunity to host all these great fans. And already I look behind us and across the way, the side bleachers filling in nicely here today as we take a look at the schedule for today. We opened, this is actually last night. We'll take a look at yesterday's games to see how they got here. Lyman and Castlewood, Freeman and Wall. That games last night were just crazy good. That Wall-Freeman game was unbelievable. Viborg Hurley and Sully Buttes here in our 7th place matchup, followed by our consolation championship, the hometown Aberdeen Christian Knights and the DeSmit Bulldogs. So should be a couple of good ones. Then tonight we set up our championship Saturday night with Lyman and Wall for 3rd place, the 8 versus the 6. And then the number 5 Castlewood Warriors, defending state champions, take on the number 2 seed Freeman Flyers, and that should be a dandy. They're all probably sleeping in a little bit today. Maybe they'll shoot around and then get back off their legs because they played a lot of minutes. There's what, 6 or 7 guys you said that in the stats have not come off the floor in 2 days.
Yeah, and you'll see 3 of them right away in this first game for Sully Buttes. So a lot of teams that have their rotation that's been carved out throughout the year, and that's who they're going to roll with here in the state tournament. So a lot of minutes played in a short time frame for some kids. So we'll see how the legs are here on day 3, and looking forward to a great day of basketball.
Let's take a look at our school profiles and introduce you to these teams with Sully Buttes. The Chargers out of Oneida in Sully County. Brian White, the head coach. 57 students, grades 9 through 11. Purple and gold, the school colors, and the Victors is their school song. How'd they get here? Well, they beat Highmore Herald and Falkton, and then the last second shot against Dupree in the Sodak 16, and then a couple of early losses. Freeman 63-55 and 50-43 to DeSmit yesterday. They'll start this way. Easton Moore, the 6'3 freshman. Jet Yackley, a 5'8 sophomore. Wesley Whitler, a 6'1 senior. 5'10 senior Gavin Coulson, and 6'2" senior James Miles for Sully Buttes. Their opponent, the Viborg Hurley Cougars. Probably a little disappointment over there, coming in as the number 1 seed, obviously 20-5 now on the season. And they're going to play for a 7th place here out of Viborg, Turner County. The Cougars coached by Shane Warwick. The enrollment is 90, black and white, the school colors. On Wisconsin is their school song. Avon and Centerville fell victim to Viborg Hurley. White River in the Sodak 16. And then the 5-point loss to Lyman on day 1. The 3-point loss to Aberdeen Christian yesterday. And that sets up this matchup against Sully Buttes. They'll start this way. The 6'2 senior There's what you look at it, 5 seniors in the starting lineup. Braden Morrison, the 6'2 senior. Brenner Gertis, the 6'1 senior. Jake Austin, the 5'9 seniors, had a great tournament. Walker Warwick, a 6'3" senior. And their leader, Brady Schroedermeyer, a 6'2" senior. He's been held at bay a little bit, and that's probably part of the reason they're playing in the 7th place game rather than in the night session.
Yeah, he got himself in foul trouble a little bit that first evening, and just trying to play through that a little bit. And one name that you didn't see on that starting lineup for Vibrant Hurley is Nolan Koltoff, another senior that kind of a bad accident that first game, first round for them, and laid up for the rest of the tournament.
We'll throw it over to our public address announcer, Mr. Ken Johnson, for our starting lineups.
Good morning. The City of Aberdeen, Aberdeen Central High School, Northern State University, the South Dakota High School Activity Association and its corporate partners, Sanford Health, Dakota Bank, Farmers Union Insurance, Billion Automotive, and the South Dakota Army National Guard welcome you to the Saturday session of the State B Boys High School Basketball Tournament. Today's games are being conducted under the guidance and regulation of the South Dakota High School Activity Association for the enjoyment and benefit of high school students. Sportsmanship is essential for the success of these programs. We hope you will enjoy the games and support your athletes in a positive and sportsmanlike manner. At this time, would you please remain standing as we honor our nation and its flag with the singing of the national anthem. The proper etiquette is to stand at attention facing the flag, remove all headgear, and place your right hand over your heart. Veterans and out-of-uniform military personnel have the option of saluting. Tonight's national anthem will be sung by Natise Sims of Lemon High School under the direction of Mrs. Nympha Manalo. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, Natise. Our first game this morning for 7th and H will feature the Sully Buttes Chargers and the Viborg Hurley Cougars. Let's meet today's officials. First, our junior officials from Viborg Hurley, Lawson Mellon. And from Sully Buttes, Charlie Roush. Today's game officials will be Josh Kemp, Jordan Opp, and Josh Mogg. Alternate official is Jerry Beers. let's meet this morning's starters. First for the Chargers, at a guard, 6'3", freshman, number 3, Easton Moore. And for the Cougars, 6'2", senior, number 1, Braden Morrison. At a guard for the Chargers, 5'8", sophomore, number 10, Jet Yackley. And for Viborg Hurley, 6'1", senior, number 2, Brenner Curtis. At a guard for the Chargers, 6'1", senior, number 15, Wesley Whitler. And for the Cougars, 5'9", senior, number 3, Jake Austin. At a guard for the Chargers, 5'10", senior, number 20, Gavin Colson. And for the Cougars, 6'3", senior, number 5, Walker Warwick. In the middle for Sully Butte, 6'2", senior, number 44, James Miles. And for the Cougars, 6'2", senior, number 23, Brady Schroedermeyer. Sully Butte is coached by Jesse Whitler and Scott Sefter. The head coach of the Chargers is Brian White. Viborg Hurley is coached by Corey Jacobson and Mason Madsen. The head coach of the Cougars, Shane Warwick. Today's lineups are brought to you by Channel C. Our fan sections brought to you by USD. Cougar fans, are you ready? Charger fans, are you ready? Let's play ball.
We're ready for action and going to tip it up here in our 7th place game. The Cougars of Viborg Hurley, the Chargers of Sully Buttes. Josh Kemp, Jordan Opp, Josh Mogg, your officiating crew. Shout out to Josh's daughter, JC, always watching in the State Bees and watching Dad officiate, probably critiquing him. That's what I want to find out. If she's got the notes for when he talks to her, how that went.
Even Kemp
gets into this one. He's going to toss it up. Schroedermeyer will jump it up. With Moore, and Viborg Hurley will control. Schroedermeyer going to be guarded by Easton Moore. Big assignment for the freshman to guard the All-State caliber player and Brady Schroedermeyer. Whitler will run it out. Wesley Whitler, 41 points from 2000 in his career. Set the all-time scoring record here in the state tournament for Sully Buttes High School.
It's going to be a matchup to watch, too. It looks like they got Schroedermeyer chasing Whitler around, so.
Which
best on best.
And Schroedermeyer's had some foul trouble here in the tournament. That one left short by Yackley. So we'll see if he can stay out of foul trouble. But again, more of a guard and a guard. Schroedermeyer's had to guard some bigs here throughout the tournament at times. Schroedermeyer, and a foul going to be called on Easton Moore. The alley-oop to Schroedermeyer, and Moore got him on the arm.
Nice little set again. You see Viborg Hurley, and you have all tournament long, run a bunch of dribble handoff action and backdoor stuff. So going to it once again. And
too strong, Schroedermeyer on the first one. Got to be frustrating for a kid that averages so many points, and then the defenses have just been set up to literally take him completely out of it. He's been able to find, what, 14? He's averaging 14?
Yep, 14 points, but just 6 of 12 from the line, so struggling there a little bit. Just hasn't been able to find it. If you've watched Viborg Hurley throughout the year, you've seen him fill it up. So kind of out of the norm at the state tournament so far for Brady.
Moore missed it. Good defense by Walker Warwick that time. Just let him body him up. Kept the arms off. Warwick faked the handoff out top this time. Schroedermeyer backdoor. Austin. That's a great set. That's discipline to run that entire set to get that backdoor to your point guard.
Setting guys up, and you've seen Jake Austin all tournament long. He, like you mentioned, out of the intros, Jake's had a great tournament for Viborg Hurley, and not just on the offensive end carrying the load for the Cougars, but his assignment defensively has been a tough one all weekend too.
Austin makes the free throw. So it's a quick early lead for Viborg Hurley, 4-0 over Sully Buttes. Yet to see Wesley Whitler with a shot here in this first quarter. Easton Moore for 3, got it. In the right wing toward the top of the key. Easton Moore opens up for Sully Buttes.
Easton just a freshman. We've talked about him. Didn't score much the first night for Sully Buttes, but hit some big shots yesterday to keep him in that game.
Brenner Gerdes with that rebound. Gerdes jumped into the starting lineup yesterday after that injury to Nolan Koltoff. Again, Koltoff on the end of the Viborg Hurley bench. If we get a shot of that eventually, he's over there with the cast, and we don't need it right now, but he's on the bench with a cast, and sounds like maybe some surgery coming his way at some point. Long on the shot by Morrison. Rebound by big James Miles.
Morrison 4 of 22 from 3 this tournament, kind of streaky. He's hit some big ones, but
Gavin Colson fouled on his way to the hoop. Good crossover to get loose and then attack the rim. Brenner Gerdes picks up his first.
talked about at the get-go too, some of these players have not came off the floor for their teams. 3 of them from Sully Buttes have played every single minute of this tournament so far. Colson at the line right now is one of those.
Whitler would be the one.
And Jet Yackley are the other 2. So
I guess I didn't realize Yackley hadn't been out either. You get to this time of year, though, teams that maybe play 8, 9, even a 10th kid during the season to kind of build some bench. When you get toward postseason, it always kind of goes down to 7. If you have an 8th that you play regularly, that's a luxury to have in postseason play in high school hoops.
See a little bit of zone look from Sully Buttes. First we've seen from them this weekend.
Morrison for 3 in the baseline. No, rebound taken out by Moore. Easton will push ahead. Yackley will lose the handle. Jake Austin right there to pick it up. Go to Schroedermeyer. Schroedermeyer on the run. Step through. And he'll be fouled again. Easton Moore will pick up his second. That's big because he's the body that can kind of, we're going to take immediate timeout if we get it. Immediate timeout on the floor. We'll take our break. 4:59 to play. Back with more on SDPB Sports.
You kept us fed through tough times. And despite rising business costs, you keep doing what you love because you know you're making a difference. No matter the challenges, we're here to help you navigate the highs and lows to grow your business, to improve your land, or to buy new equipment. We all rely on you. And we're just happy to return the favor. Go with Allies. Go with trust. Go with Dakota Bank.
Out of the immediate timeout, 5-4, Sully Buttes leading Viborg Hurley, but we come back to free throws from Brady Schroedermeyer. Schroedermeyer fouled by Easton Moore, and Easton picked up his second personal on that foul. Schroedermeyer will miss the first. That brings to the floor number 24, Brenton Barber. Lose a lot of size when you go to Barber. From Moore, anyway.
Yeah,
also in was what, Falkenhagen?
Yeah, and Easton just gave Sully Buttes some length that they don't really have when he's off the floor.
And now you see the zone from Viborg Hurley. They switch out of that man-to-man. Whitler right away will shoot it from the corner. Schroedermeyer free to go get the rebound. He'll give it back to Jake Austin. Austin now get the Cougar set. Hand off to Schroedermeyer. Out of the zone to the corner. Schroedermeyer back to Morrison. Good spacing by Viborg Hurley. Spread it out. Lob to Morrison. Austin for a long three. No, too strong. Gertis can't come up with the rebound. Barber, push ahead Colson. Colson against Morrison. Reverse layup, no good. Rebound, Schrodemeyer.
One thing Brady's done well, we talked about him maybe not scoring as much as he has throughout the season, but averaging 9.5 rebounds through the first 2 games of the tournament too.
Morrison for three, left wing, no. Rebound, Gertis in there battling against the purple. Jake Austin now. Weber Hurley runs so many different sets. Back to the corner. Foul down on the baseline. Jordan Opp. Set foul on number 33, or 32. Cooper Falkenhagen will pick up his first. 3:34 to play. Low scoring first quarter here. 5-5 as Morrison comes out. Warwick will come out.
Carson Miles will come in for Sully Buttes, number 11 for the Chargers.
First time we've seen him this weekend, I think. The three for Jake Austin. Van Orsdale will guard Colson. Whitler going to be held by Schrodemeyer. So Brady will pick up his first. Here you'll see it, Whitler. There it is. Reaching across with that left hand, popped him in the arm. Yackley on the right wing. Three on the way, in and out, no good for Whitler that time, yeah.
Got loose and got one off, but yeah, just rolled around and out.
Jake Austin try to set the offense again against that zone. Gonna go a little 4-out. Runner on the baseline, spread everybody out, see if they can find a open look. Got to hit shots from the outside. Van Orsdale couldn't get it to go, but another rebound for Gertis. This time, Austin can't find it. Chargers will run, step through, kind of a little Euro. Good finish against Gertis. Pretty good defense by Gertis too, but Gavin Colson been a little more intentional on offense.
Better offense there, yeah. Gertis did a great job of just walling up and not drawing a foul or picking up a foul, but like you said, just a better finish by Colson there.
In a little zone for Sully Buttes. No good for Van Orsdale again. Chased and saved. Van Orsdale on the baseline this time gets it to go. Thibodeau Lindemann, Caden Thibodeau Lindemann with that rebound. Quickly the other way, Colson left it short. Schrodemeyer will look to run, leading 10-7, but then has to pull it back up. Give it to Austin. Lindemann, three on the way, no good. Rebound, backside, Van Orsdale. Jake Austin will set it again. Van Orsdale inside. Schrodemeyer back to Van Orsdale. Good ball movement. He'll stop and set it against the zone. Short off the front iron again.
Kind of flat from Van Orsdale there.
Whitler tried to step through and take that on the Euro step. Left it off the bottom of the rim. Schrodemeyer has to go up and get it. They're going to say Schrodemeyer was already on the line, stepped on the line. Here you'll see it. He tried to save it. We'll have a timeout. Nothing
threw
there.
it off him.
It hit him first, maybe. Oh, stepped down before he got rid of it.
Yep.
There it is. That's a really good call. Jordan Opp right on top of it. Good camera work again. Yeah, landed before he could throw it. 10-7. Colson again will let it fly. Rebound taken out of there by Falkenhagen, and then a grab on Lincoln Van Orsdale. Back in with those three fouls comes Easton Moore with 54 seconds to play in the quarter, with those two fouls rather. with 54.4 to play. Lob to Whitler, guarded by Van Orsdale. Man-to-man for Viberg Hurley. Travel at the top by Whitler.
Just kind of got himself spread out a little bit too much before he could get the ball on the floor.
Yeah, Whitler just can't get loose here. He can't hit the three. When he starts feeling it, you'll know because he'll let it fly, but he just hasn't been able to find his range right now. If you're Viberg Hurley and you said, hey, we're going to hold Whitler scoreless in the first quarter, I think you take that coming into this game.
Well, I haven't seen much zone from Sully Buttes this tournament, so.
Schroedermeyer with the catch on the air ball.
First game they've played where they've actually kind of matched up fairly well with size-wise against their opponent. But those 2 fouls from Moore maybe dictate that a little bit.
Yackley will slow it down. Got about, I don't know, maybe a 10th or 2 difference in shot clock to game clock right now. It's almost about dead on the way it's ticking over. Whitler for 3, knocks it down. Maybe that'll get him going. Schroedermeyer from half court. No, left inside of the rim. Tied at 10 after 8 minutes of play. We're back with more on SDPB Sports.
Are Peterson reps real-life seed heroes? Well, they've been known to go the extra mile. Literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson, we're that kind of seed company.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
Eight minutes gone in our opening game in the 7th place game here at Aberdeen and Walks Arena. Brad DeBeer alongside Steve Erickson, Viberg Hurley, and Sully Buttes tied at 10 apiece. There's a good look at Wesley Whitler hit that 3 toward the end of the quarter. Tied things up, his first basket of that first half. He's their leading scorer. Again, needs 41 points to eclipse 2,000 for his career. You have to go to work, I guess.
Yeah.
Still the leading scorer all time.
Not that Viberg Hurley knows that, but knows that Whitler's a really good player and want to limit him.
Travel. Walker Warwick will trigger the inbound. Jake Austin will walk it up. Wait for everybody to get set. Look at that zone. A 3-2 matchup again for Sully Buttes. Morrison for 3, left wing. No, too strong. Rebound. Schroedermeyer in traffic. Schroedermeyer up off the glass and good. Schroedermeyer, 6'2", just has to do some work down there. Just so athletic to be able to rebound, but man, he works hard underneath when he gets it. Another rebound for Schroedermeyer. 5 boards in the game for Brady Schroedermeyer. Maybe 6. I don't know if they got that last offensive one updated yet. Sometimes to us it takes a while to flip over.
It's been the one thing impressive with Brady. Yeah, his scoring maybe hasn't been.
Austin for 3.
Austin hit another one. Continues his great tournament play. I was saying Brady just doesn't let maybe not scoring as much affect the rest of his game. Still going to defend like crazy and crash the glass.
Jake Austin, there's that 3 from Austin on one end, and then he gets whistled for the foul on the other end. Poked the arm, I think, from behind as he was trying to knock that ball away. Whitler will control to start things for Sully Buttes. On the baseline, Colson stuck in traffic down there. Gets a shot off. Somehow Schroedermeyer can't reel it in. Goes off of Brady's hand out of bounds. Yackley. Easton Moore, another three on the left wing. And it's 15-13 Viborg Hurley. Morrison inside. Gertis back to Morrison. Good look away. Missed it. Jake Austin comes up with it, throws it off of Colson out of bounds to save possession. Here you see it. Jake thought he got pushed a little bit. There was some hands on him.
Maybe a little.
Yeah, I don't know if there was. You could see the hands on him for sure. 6 points in the game now for Schroedermeyer on the lob out of the inbound.
I've seen that from Viborg Hurley a few times this weekend. That just a simple lob, guys not seeing the inbounder, and
Whitler has to just fling that one up. I think that it isn't the same out of bounds play every time either. They'll run it from different spots to lob it to him. So when you set up, you see, oh, they're going to lob to him. Well, it looks different to the kids.
Yeah, and they have different guys. You got Jake Austin, who's knocking down threes all tournament long, coming off a screen from Schroedermeyer, so you help on him. And
another board for Schroedermeyer. Missed it. Whitler will run it out. Hesitation. Fade away off the glass. Such a tough shot. 5 in the game for Whitler. Just over 5 minutes to play in the second quarter. Jake Austin gives to Gertis. Gertis looks for the lob, nothing there. Lob this time into the hands of Easton Moore, and he'll throw it out of bounds. We'll go to our media timeout if we get their attention. Jordan Ops got it. We'll take our break. We're back with 4:53 to play in our second quarter on SDPB Sports.
Protecting crops. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station in Armour provide agronomy services, fertilizer products, and crop analysis systems, including Agronomy 365. This system helps manage your field's performance, supporting small-town communities while hiring and training local youth. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station in Armour, serving area producers and their communities.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for all of it. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great. And we're here for all of it. See you at the game.
4:53 to play in our opening half. 17-15 our score. It'll be Viborg Hurley basketball under their own hoop as teams come out of the break. Warwick will trigger it this time. Way out high to Austin, and it'll reset. Schroedermeyer goes back down, now to the wing. Inside, Gertis. No cutters off of that right now, though. Oh, good take. Schroedermeyer on the dive to the middle of the lane, or the drive, I should say, and then leave it to Gertis.
I think Gertis, good patience, too, to wait and let the defender fly by.
Three for Easton Moore. His third three-pointer of the game. I don't even know why they put the white line in for threes at the high school boys anymore. Dribbling it out of bounds, Jake Austin right in front of Josh Mogg, and we'll go the other way. 19-18 our score. They'll get caught. You watch them, they look up after play thinking there'll be an instant replay right away. We don't do them all. Our instant replay guy doesn't want to do it every time.
And then they point at all. And then they point at all of them like they're going to change them.
Or like the officials are going to look up at it anyway.
Oh, you're right.
I'm not going to check that. 3 for Moore again. His 4th 3 in the first half.
And you can see why Coach White was frustrated when he picked up that second foul. He's just a kid they need on the floor to provide some offensive punch, especially when Whitler's being kind of bottled up right now.
Warwick will send it over to Austin. Pump fake the 3, lose the handle. Saved by Sully Buttes, they'll run. 2-on-1. Yackley lost the handle and off the foot of Whitler, out of bounds. Coming right at you. Hard bounce, lost the handle, and then it hits Whitler right there underneath our scorebug. Three minutes to play in the second quarter, 21-19. Schroedermeyer comes up with it in traffic, kick it out, Gertis, swing it. Warwick will reset, plenty of time on the shot clock. Van Orsdale to Austin, now Schroedermeyer. Flash to the high post, Warwick loses the handle. Somehow swatted that back, and Gertis came up with it. Brenner Gertis with the layup.
Gertis just in the right spot. And
Easton Moore. Moore's had a great first half.
But I think that was probably a message Coach White relayed to his team too, is somebody else is going to have to step up if they're going to try to deny Whitler the ball that much.
Whitler on the run out, 1-on-2. Nice job by Van Orsdale to stand in and take it, but I don't know, that's a tough call right there. It's right at the rim.
Well, maybe which I know a charge is a charge no matter where it's at, but he's kind of underneath the hoop, which
basket's good at the other end. Here you'll see it, Schroedermeyer inside. There's big body, yeah, he definitely got bumped. Foul called on Jet Yackley, his first personal. 25-23, Schroedermeyer free throw short. And they'll go the other way. They're going to say a foul on Gertis.
Gertis kind of cleared out on the rebound a little bit. The swim move.
There you see Coach Warwick and his staff trying to talk to their teams to get up. Let's pick them up a little earlier here at half court maybe. Jake Austin comes out, then retreats. Colson looking for more. Whitler long 3, no, short. Whitler with his own rebound, right elbow jumper, too strong this time. Van Orsdale with the rebound, and a foul going to be called on Gavin Colson. A little extra contact, they're just going to whistle it right now to make sure settle things down.
Bumped into him, not really trying to.
Yeah, probably didn't change a lot,
around him, but yeah.
At the same time, you almost have to call that for the simple fact that if you don't, then anytime they can do that, then when do you start calling it, right? So I guess I'd prefer to see it called early and then it stops.
And they can adjust, yeah.
Now, if it's called on my guy, I don't prefer that. Not at all.
That's not the right call.
It's the wrong side, wrong time to do that. But just over a minute to play. Inside Van Orsdale, too strong. Gertis was there, had it knocked out of his hands, and Whitler will control. Push ahead. Colson so aggressive offensively today. And a foul, clear out on the rebound. Van Orsdale got thrown across the lane. I think that's going to go on number 11, Carson Miles.
The Sully Buttes fans don't like it because Miles hit the deck too.
pushed first. They see the second one up there. Schroedermeyer kick out. Warwick in the paint. And Orsdell. Foul. That's going to be on Schroedermeyer. That time he cleared Miles out. You'll see it on the backside. Just a little push with the left arm there. And Schroedermeyer pretty strong, so he's going to move people. He thought he was being held, but he was almost the hook first. I don't know. A lot of contact in there. I don't think you're right on either one of those that you call, according to the crowd, anyway.
And just so much attention to Schroedermeyer on the defensive end. You got two guys kind of hanging on him, and then it.
Wardell checks in for him as we wind it down. And Sully Butte's going to take the lead into the half. He's taking the last shot here. Long three, Whitler, no, hit the rim. And that's how and Gertis going to chuck it. That was a bomb. Gertis, good arm for the big fella. At halftime, Sully Butte's 25, Viborg Hurley 23. We'll step away, come back with more on SDPB Sports.
As much as you have accomplished, there are times you'd rather not go it alone. While you determine what direction you go, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with community. Go with neighbors. Go with understanding. Go with support.
Reading opens every door to learning, opportunity, and understanding. The South Dakota Department of Education is strengthening literacy outcomes for students across our state, helping educators connect classroom instruction to the science of how children learn to read and write. Through professional support and shared resources, schools are building strong foundation in literacy for every learner. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
Inside Wax Arena and the Barnett Center on the campus of Northern State University. I'm Brad DeVere alongside Steve Erickson, 25-23 at the half. And we'll talk about some stats here in just a minute. The three-point shooting of Sully Butte's the difference right now because both teams have made 9 total field goals. They've both taken 125 and one of them 26, but Sully Butte's just made a couple extra threes.
Yeah, Sully Butte's 5 of 11 from deep. Viborg Hurley just 2 of 15. Which is kind of your difference right there. Viborg Hurley got into the line a little bit more, but only made 1 more free throw. Easton Moore leading Sully Butte's with 14. He came in after those 2 fouls and found it. He's 4 of 4 from deep himself. Whitler shaking loose a couple times. He's got 7. Go along with 5 rebounds. On the Viborg Hurley side, Jake Austin leads with 9 points. Brady Schroedermeyer chipping in with 8. And I think Brady's got
7 boards, I think.
I say 6, 7 rebounds. 8, I think it says now. 8 rebounds already for Schroedermeyer, but picked up his 2nd foul there late in the second half, or in the second quarter. And so we'll have to see how he plays through that again, which is nothing new for him this tournament. Been playing through foul trouble the whole time. But like you said, a very even matchup so far, and just kind of the outside shooting from Sully Butte's kind of the difference at this point.
Yeah, Brenner Gertis has done some dirty work in there. He grabbed 5 rebounds as well. Take a look what score's been tied 4 times. We've had 3 different lead changes. The largest lead for Viborg Hurley was 5 at the 6:47 mark in the second quarter. And then Sully Butte's actually led by 4 just there with 1:53 left in that first half. So we do sit, though, at a 2-point difference, 25-23 here at halftime. Want to just quick remind you as well that you can follow along all day here today, SDPB Sports on your mobile device. Check out Facebook, X, or Instagram. Be sure to browse all the action and award-winning photos by searching SDPB on Flickr. Megan has taken over with the photos today, and I think I talked to her yesterday. I said, what'd you get? About 8,000? She goes, I don't know, I didn't count them, but it feels like it. So she was hoping she got one good one, she said. She said, I hope there's one good one out of that 8,000, but I'm sure there's a bunch of good ones. Check it out online. Tell us where you're watching from. Read some of the great stories while you're there, and enjoy videos that feature the teams, the kids, and the coaches of South Dakota. SDPB Sports or sdpb.org/basketball. There's a look at the Viborg Hurley fan section. Sweet orange coat up there. That sport coat's popping. Figure out how to get me one of those. No, or not. We'll take a break, come back, and get you set and ready for our second half of action from Wax Arena on SDPB2 and SDPB.org. SDPB Sports.
Bioethanol supplies more than just energy. It creates jobs in rural communities. It drives demand for local corn. It provides opportunities for family farms to thrive. To ensure agriculture plays a leading role in the efforts to decarbonize and transition energy, bioethanol remains at the forefront of a pursuit for a cleaner, brighter future for all Americans. Learn how at sdethanol.com.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm onto her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
For your little ones and your biggest joys. Or your forever friends. And your fur kids, too. For your better half. Or your all-time bestie. For the reasons you smile, there's coverage. With dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of South Dakota and Delta Vision.
Brad DeBeer alongside Steve Erickson at Wax Arena here in the Class B Boys State Basketball Tournament in Aberdeen. Not just a tournament, but an event for the weekend here in the city of Aberdeen. You talked about that in the pregame a little bit, Steve, how this city, this community, this school at Aberdeen Central as the host school, and then Northern State just kind of roll out the red carpet for not only those of us that get to sit here courtside and work, but for the fans and the players, and they just make it such a great experience.
Well, and you've mentioned it throughout the weekend, too. I think that's why you see so many people that they don't have a dog in the fight, really. Yeah. They're not associated with any of these 8 teams here, but still the same people you see every year we come here, and kudos to all those involved in making it happen.
Yeah, we've talked to some gentlemen, we've talked a little bit about that have been here since 1970. They come, I mean, not necessarily this building, but obviously this tournament, you know, the B, and then you got the guys behind us that we were joking around with from Marion that, you know, this is the last 6 years, they just come sit right here in the front row. They get here, they're one of the fierce people in the gym. They save their 6 seats, and all their friends come, and that's where they sit. And they get together and they watch basketball. Bill Sawinski, former AD at Webster, every year, that's what he's here, just down to our right. That's just where he's going to be, right? I mean, that's what you do. You come and you hang out and you talk to people and you watch basketball.
Yep. Kind of the reunion of old coaches and ADs and all those kind of people too. And we were talking to Terry Nelson earlier, came too and was watching TV and talking about all the kids that are playing with the dads that he coached that are coaching and kids of kids and so forth.
That just means he's old.
Well,
that's
what we told him too. So
Nelson turned 70 this coming year, so yeah, he's an old guy. Justin Ingles sitting next to me. We were talking as well. Typically, this is a tournament that Senator Thune comes to and just wants to be a part of as well. And you know, we've had visits with him. He won't be here this year. I know a couple people asked me. He will not be here this year. He's busy in DC. I don't know. I can't believe there's something more important than the B tournament going on. But anyway, somebody message that guy and figure out why he's not here. I don't know. Send him some notes. But we'll get ready for some great basketball. Looking forward to tonight. That championship game tonight as we just wait for the clock to tick down here at halftime. Castlewood and Freeman, those two teams. I would say Castlewood had the chance to rest up a little bit better. Probably their game kind of got away so they could pull some guys out. But that Freeman Wall game, I mean, those Freeman guys got to be shot today, don't they?
And third game and third day in 3 days, and that's what a state tournament is, and that's what you prepare for. And that's not going to be an excuse for either team or either coach. You're going to hear that from the get-go. But
yep. There you see Molly Mason from former Viborg Hurley girls coach, 2-time state champion there, and her husband Chad. They're here supporting nephews that is playing.
Move the camera a little side, you'll see SDSU quarterback Chase Mason.
Well, and
they're cutting him out of the.
I don't. Yeah, there he's
right beside Chad.
He's by
there we go.
There you go. Chase was down talking to Christina, having a drink. Now he's like, oh, there he's. Wave to us, Chase. Just wave once. Wave, man. Chad's looking over at us like, what are you doing?
They're waving behind.
Yeah, they're all waving, and he won't do it. He's got to get paid to wave, right? He gets paid to make appearances now, so he can't wave at us. Christian will write him a check. We're underway here in the second half. It'll be Viborg Hurley basketball going left to right. Oh, we've got shot clock out on the opposite end. Uh-oh, now we're going to see how the maintenance staff works at the Barnett Center. You know what? I think it came unplugged when Gertis threw that last second shot.
Oh, yeah, it did.
There they got it. The cord was hanging back there. They got it back on now, but that cord was dangling and it hit that cord. I think they've got it fixed. We can just start it all over. I would think go back to 8 minutes and
I would think so.
Do it again. All they did was dribble it up. Even Kemp saw that one. Just kidding. Redo. Let's check it out again. He gets 5 stars for the handoff to set that first one in motion, but we'll see if he does it as well this time. Morrison will bring it across. Gave Viborg Hurley a chance to set up a different play out of it. Actually, they got a different look coming out of it. Morrison. Give to Warwick. Warwick will back it out. Schroedermeyer kind of throwing his. I thought we were running this play. What's going on right now? Schroedermeyer for 3. It's a good start for Viborg Hurley. They retake the lead on their first possession of the second half.
Brady's first 3 of the tournament.
Yackley tries to answer. Easton Moore there. Another offensive rebound.
Jet Yackley's been a guy for Sully Buttes too. He doesn't look to score a whole lot in the first half, but his second halves of both games they've played, he's been one that's kind of carried the load offensively.
Too strong for Easton Moore. Rebound chased down by Schroedermeyer. He's going to get to double digits in rebounds and points here. He's already got 11 points, but he's real close to double digits in rebounds. Somehow Schroedermeyer got the handle back on that Just gets off the floor so fast, he's able to go up and finish. Looks to me like they're making a conscious effort to put Brady Schroedermeyer, or put the ball in Brady Schroedermeyer's hands, I should say. Here you'll see it coming the other way. Walker Warwick will slap from behind. That's going to be a foul. Colson tried to lay that in on the right side. He'll get 2 free throws. And oh no, they'll say it was on the drive. Warwick picks up the foul though. Houston Moore with his third. And we lost the shot clock again. Somebody's going to have to climb up the standard here and
I think they're working on
fix the cord. Yeah.
Yeah, that toss you were talking about from Gertis.
Yeah.
That arm.
That's exactly what it was too. That's the exact cord that it hit as he's trying to mess with it down there. All attention on the
get both
shot clock fixer.
Teams over their benches now. You'll hear a huge eruption from the crowd when this baby gets turned back on too.
Yeah. There you see Coach White talking to his team, get a little extra time to visit and motivate here, try to get him going. The eyes are locked in. He's having a pretty big conversation with Wesley Whitler, their team leader right there. And Whitler's locked in. Now they're on the phone there. Oh, had it. Off and on. He's got a little shorted it. I think it bent something. Got it back on now, so good work.
Don't touch it now.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to stand there the rest of the day.
That's his seat for the rest of the tournament. He's gonna get 15 minutes between games to try to. Well, he'll get
Dave
longer
Van
because we're doing
Regenmotor
it.
over there helping him get her fixed.
He's got.
Must have happened in DeSmit at some point.
Is he a Daktronics guy, maybe?
Bubs. No, he works for the school in DeSmit.
Okay. Good work, Dave. Back door and a catch and shoot.
Really well defended by Sully Buttes, but just like we've talked about before, better offense from Jake Austin.
And Gavin Colson will pick up his second on the player control. See him turn his back and go right into Warwick. Warwick took 3 charges against Pine Ridge in a big game at Corn Palace or at some classic this year. They have taken over 30 charges as a team this season, and Coach Warwick said that was one thing they actually, coming into the season, they needed to be better defensively and lock in and sit down and make somebody go through them. A block at the other end on Whitler. Wesley going to pick up his first.
That same backdoor look, and it's just so hard to defend if you're on the high side. And
now Brian White wants a full timeout to talk things over. 30-25, so a quick run for Viborg Hurley. We'll have our media timeout coming up at the 5-minute mark. There you see Viborg Hurley talking things over. They're going to visit a little bit about what they need to do here as they've jumped out. In the first couple minutes here, a 5, 6, 7-0 run, I guess it was, to take this 5-point lead. Trailed by 2 at the half. Having an interesting, kind of a fun little way to start the night tonight. Our night session. We'll come on at 5 o'clock, have our 5-minute pregame, then we go to Zeros for our national anthem tonight. All the cheerleading squads, along with a few other volunteers that they've got, will have a giant flag that'll be rolled out and held at from free throw line to free throw line here tonight to celebrate our nation with our national anthem. So that'd be kind of fun. And that national anthem you heard to start this session, same young lady will be singing tonight. That was fantastic. So with a full house expected here tonight, I'm sure that'll get the place rocking right away. Two free throws for Jake Austin as we come out of the timeout. Brian White maybe just needs a little more energy out of his guys. His first 2 minutes were a little bit slow, and then he had a charge call. And
trying to get them settled down a little bit and maybe get a little bit better look on the offensive end for Sully Buttes.
Austin's got 12. 13 in the game for Jake Austin. He's had himself a nice tournament. Yackley against Morrison, and they'll switch the screen. Whitler being guarded by Austin now. They're going to call a foul on the block shot attempt. From behind, right? It's just going to be called a lot of times.
Brady jumped, though, too.
True story. I had a longer reach than he did. I didn't have to jump as high.
It's just when you got
And I
those
couldn't.
Yeah, when you got those 2 fouls, that's 1-2. You just got to know maybe you got to concede it at that point. But
yeah, he
good
let him
drive
get by on the baseline,
Good
too.
drive by Easton Moore. And I'm sure that's going to be a message the Coach Warwick and his staff are going to talk about is, hey, you just got to guard it earlier, guard it better earlier, and not rely on having to block it.
Moore will make the free throw.
Easton up to 15 in the ball game. So leaves the Chargers.
32-26. Austin looking to take over now with the absence of Schroedermeyer, and he flies down the left side of the lane and lays it off the glass. Yackley back the other way for Sully Buttes.
Up to 15 for Jake as well to lead the Cougars.
Whitler on the post up. 2 hands on the back in the post. Automatic whistle. And Lincoln Van Orsdale will pick up his second. Lob out to Moore. Whitler for 3, straight on. No, left it short. Whitler with 7 points. Warwick gives to Morrison.
See that action Viber Hurley's running right now, a bunch of L cuts, and then going to try to set a guy up for a backdoor cut at some point here.
5 on the shot clock. Shane Warwick whistles for the timeout. Going to take a quick 30-second timeout. With 4:43 to play, 34-26. Let it get to 5 on the shot clock, and then decided to run something from the baseline. They're going to be on the side, I think, actually called the timeout. Ball was out on the
We've
wing.
seen it, you've mentioned it early on too, but Coach Warwick's got all kinds of sets and out-of-bounds plays that probably haven't even seen half of them this weekend, but knows he'll have something here for 5 seconds.
No, he's got that call sheet. If you can see that call sheet in his hand, we can't probably zoom in that close on it, but it is filled up on both sides. And I mean, I saw it earlier. I was a little closer to him. Oh my gosh. He doesn't have it color coded though, so I wouldn't be very good at that. I need my color coding.
It's like, almost like an NFL
call sheet,
offensive call sheet, where it's.
Surprised he hasn't brought back wristbands for basketball, and then it's got all the call sheets like football in it. 3 on the shot clock. Warwick will just chuck it up, miss everything. Just had to get rid of it. And immediate timeout as we go to under 5, 4:37 to play. Back with more on SDPB Sports.
You're committed to building relationships, to exceeding expectations, to serving your community. Your financial partner should share your vision and your values. For 130 years, we've stood by South Dakotans. We've been there, we'll be there. Convenient, connected, committed. Bank West, member FDIC.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
Back inside Walks Arena, Brad DeBeer alongside Steve Erickson. 4:37 to play as we come out of the timeout. It'll be Sully Buttes basketball. Jet Yackley to bring it across the timeline.
Oh, good look.
Nice cut by Falkenhagen, but he can't handle it. Goes off his hands out of bounds.
Yeah, Whitler caught it at the post, and they brought a double, and great pass out of it. But
you can see Sully Buttes a lot more action right away, though, with a lot of screening action, a lot of cuts compared to what they have been. So I think that's something that Coach White needs his team to get going with. He'll bring both big guys out now.
Just kind of stagnant on the offensive end for Sully Buttes.
Look for Sully Buttes to get out and run a little bit right now. Try to force the action with Schrodemeyer out of the game for Viborg Hurley as well. Warwick set it, calls out Fist. Van Orsdell. Out top, Morrison will get loose. 3 on the way, no, left it short. Colson will go get it. Whitler, jump stop, step through, step back. Left it short again. Just can't find a rhythm shooting the basketball right now.
You're just seeing legs are affecting things.
Austin on the left wing. Van Orsdell. Viborg Hurley going to be content to just run clock right now, too, with an 8-point lead. Just eat away some clock while your leading scorer is on the bench. That one taken away. On the baseline, 3 for Colson, no good. Battle for the rebound, and a foul going to be called on Warwick. Frustration foul there as kind of reached out and right there. Slapping at the ball and got him on the arms.
Trying to keep the ball alive.
Checking in for Warwick, Caden Thibodeau Lindemann. Another foul on the inbound as Morris fouled by Gertis. Brenner picks up his 3rd.
Going to be the 5th on Viborg Hurley and get Easton Moore to the free throw line for Sully Buttes.
Yeah, 3 minutes of fouls. Going to bring Schrodemeyer back here. Thought maybe he'd try to ride it out a little bit longer. Brady will come back in. He'll come back for Lindemann. Easton Moore, 1 of 2 his last trip. He's 2 of 3 on the day. 3 of 4 at the free throw line, and it's 34-28. Back to a 6-point game. Schrodemeyer with the ball in his hands now. Look for Viborg Hurley to go back in that zone, probably that 3-2 with him in foul trouble.
Trying to protect that a little bit.
Austin for 3, right corner, no, too strong. Rebound, backside, Van Orsdell. Up and in for Lincoln. Nope, they're going to stay man-to-man.
Lincoln with some big plays for the Cougars today. Good rebounds and a couple hoops.
And Moore, another 3. Easton Moore, 5 threes in the game. He's got 20
on 5 attempts.
Probably want to find a way to get him the basketball right now, huh?
So that's a kid you want shooting it right now.
Schrodemeyer and Van Orsdell play a little catch. Backdoor from Morrison to Austin. Schrodemeyer misses inside, point blank. Whitler quickly the other way against Morrison, foul on Braden. Braden just wanted to make sure and not give up an easy layup.
Good Euro setting up to take the charge, but Whitler just set him up going to the inside and Euro'd around, and Braden just reaching in, make him earn it from the line here.
Whitler, good free throw shooter. Has not been at the line yet today. He'll make the first one. He's got 8 points. 36-32. Warwick will come back in. Van Orsdel will come out. Back to the starting lineup for Viborg Hurley. Whitler gets the second one. 9 on the day, and it's back to 3, 36-33.
Yeah, right when you thought Viborg Hurley was maybe going to pull away and put this one away, then there's Sully Buttes getting some stops and a couple big hoops to...
Morrison with 3. His first basket of the game. Yackley to Moore. The freshman. Easton Moore with 20. Whitler, long 3, left it short. There it is again, no legs. Just not getting up off the floor like he did the last 2 days shooting it.
And just couldn't really follow through real well with Jake Austin right in his grill too. So credit Austin's defense a little bit, but
Schroedermeyer with his 12th rebound. Kicks it out. Austin, 3, step back, no. Swing it, Morrison. Schroedermeyer finally got up off the floor, and a foul over. He banged his elbow on the floor to Brady. A push in the corner. As we see for the first time, oh no, I guess he was in one time early in the first half. Noah Wardell. That foul went on Whitler, by the way, his second. Long 3, Austin. That was a little too deep, maybe. Warwick with the rebound. Schroedermeyer right wing, lob it inside Wardell. Wardell had a layup, kicked it out though. 3, Morrison. It worked, he gets the assist, and the team gets 3. Back-to-back threes for Braden Morrison. Foul, 2 hands on it. Gonna be an instant foul on the floor. Brian White wanted it on the shot. Josh Mock said, no, I called that way before anybody went up. There's no continuation on that. Austin with his Morrison with his second foul. But it is 5 fouls, so it doesn't really matter. He gets the free throws anyway. He make the shot. Maybe that's what Brian White wanted the shot to count if it went in. So
yeah, I think so. He's asking.
Still, Golson first one good. Subs in, Van Orsdel and Gertis. Schroedermeyer will come out for the last 32.9, try to protect him. Nope, they're gonna say, you stay. That was somebody else who was supposed to go out. I wondered, because they're going back on offense, I thought, well, if he's coming on defense, good time to do it, but you probably want him out there on offense. Colson, no. Rebound, Van Orsdel. 1 shot for Viborg Hurley if they can hold it. 42-34, chance to push it to double digits going into the final 8 minutes. Warwick, Schroedermeyer, Austin. Backdoor cut, Warwick up too strong. Rebound, Schroedermeyer. We're going the other way. Exactly. Schroedermeyer picked up his 4th on an offensive rebound. Boy, that's a tough call. He's got the ball in the air, comes down on the Sully Buttes player. Just what you didn't want to have happen if you're Viborg Hurley, though.
Yeah, you talked about leading him in for the offensive end of the floor, but
he's such a good offensive rebounder, though.
Yeah, he's just got a nose for the ball. Such a good athlete. He just He gets up higher than anybody else to go get it, but then, like you said, comes down on somebody and called for his fourth.
Well, not only, I mean, obviously that's the cherry on top for the bad side of it, because they give up 2 points at the other end possibly here as Whitler hits the second one. So yeah, give up 2, had a chance to push it to 10, now it's 6. Maybe went a little earlier than they wanted. Warwick, ooh, they're gonna say off Sully Boots. Jordan Downs waiting for someone to come take it out. Sully Boots has set the ball down again.
Yeah. Won't give him time to set their play up.
Austin misses the baseline jumper. We'll go to our final quarter break. 42-36, Viborg Hurley. We're back with more on SDPB Sports.
Lake Area Technical College provides hands-on learning and practical experience in real-world environments. Prepare for a career right out of school from the moment you step on campus for an education that can really be put to work. Lake Area Tech is the start of something new.
Are Peterson reps real-life seed heroes? Well, they've been known to go the extra mile, literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson, we're that kind of seed company.
65 years old.
42-36, Viborg Hurley leading Sully Butts. Good second quarter for the Cougars, though. It all started early. They came out right away, hit a 3, and that kind of got them started.
Yeah, they talked about it too. Thought maybe they were going to run and put it away, and then Schroedermeyer picks up his third and his fourth, and lets Sully Butts hang around a little bit. You know, Coach White has to feel pretty good about getting back in the game a little bit, and with Schroedermeyer with his fourth, I'm sure Coach White's telling his team right now, we got to make a run right now with him on the bench. And 8 minutes left. If you're a senior, eight minutes left in your career. And
how long do you let Brady Schroedermeyer sit now, though, if you're Viborg Hurley? If you can survive to the media timeout, maybe?
I think it's one of those, you see how long you can conserve this lead too, and where you're feeling comfortable.
Foul going to be called on number 2, Brenner Gertis. So now Gertis picks up his fourth. Taken away last touch. Oh, they'll say Sully Butts touched. Good work in there for Noah Wardell, though. Just got a hand on that. Poked out from behind by Whitler.
From behind, yeah. Good call by Mr. Kemp.
Backdoor cut on the baseline.
Kind of a double backdoor almost.
Whitler crossover. Oh, wow. Keeps the handle off the glass, too strong. Rebound, Colson blocked by Wardell. Whitler got up off the ground too, just couldn't corral it. Brenner Gertis, good position in there to get that rebound. Morrison just about traveled. Gets it back. Tough pass there as Whitler was ready to tip it out. Warwick lob to Wardell. Wardell fouled inside by number 11, Carson Miles. Miles will pick up his second personal. That will put Noah Wardell at the free throw line. Wardell going to have to maybe come up big a little bit here. In the absence of Schroedermeyer, they need somebody else inside to go to work. And Wardell knocks down the free throw. Noah, the 6'3" junior. Van Orsdale comes in. Morrison gets a break, probably his final break here, just to catch his breath.
Coach White will take a timeout.
Just a 30.
The ball gets to the shooter. Yep.
So as we enter this final quarter, kind of underway here, 17-20 for Easton Moore to lead the way for Sully Buttes. Whitler's got 11 and 5 for Gavin Colson. The only 3 players to score the entire game for Sully Buttes right now. On the other side of things, Schroedermeyer has 13 points to go along with a dozen rebounds. Jake Austin leading them offensively, though, with 15. And then they had a couple of threes from Braden Morrison in that third quarter. He's got 6. 4 points for Brenner Gertis and another 4 points for Lincoln Van Orsdale, plus Wardell with that first free throw there has 1.
Brenner Gertis and Brady Schroedermeyer both with 4 fouls for Vibrant Hurley. Easton Moore still playing with those 3 that he picked up early in the second quarter.
Wardell too strong that time. Rebound by Moore, taken out of there. The 6'3" freshman. Slip the screen. Moore popped to the wing and throws it away as Colson can't handle it. I guess that was touched by Vibert Hurley, maybe. So they do call it touch. And it'll be Sully Buttes basketball under their own hoop. Whitler double teamed, kick it out. Colson hits Moore in the lane. Yackley for 3. No, left it short. Rebound, Van Orsdale. Here they go, bringing Schroedermeyer back. 6-minute mark if they can get him in. 43-36, 7-point lead.
You've seen Vibert Hurley just kind of be a little more deliberate, a little more patient on the offensive end too, since
well, you don't have your leading scorer out there, and you've got a lead. Try to protect it. Gertis, great move. Strong to the basket. 6 points for Gertis. Whistle blows underneath. Van Orsdale going to be whistled for the foul.
Hold on Whitler trying to post up.
Lincoln picks up his 3rd. Schroedermeyer will come back, trying to find out who he's in for. It'll be for Noah Wardell. As Noah comes out after going 1 of 2 at the free throw line. Taken by Schroedermeyer. Schroedermeyer on the run out. He'll be fouled and finish it with the left hand. Basket's good for Schroedermeyer.
That just shows his strength too, being able to finish.
That ended up better than him throwing down a dunk, actually. If he can finish the free throw here to make it a 3-point play. And got it. Kind rim. Brenner Gertis will check out. Probably his final break here. Those 4 fouls, though. He's got to be careful when he comes back also.
Yeah, get him out and save him. But Brenner's played the whole. He hasn't came off the floor yet either. So
yeah, and he's just been a workhorse. He doesn't score a lot of points, just timely baskets. Whitler finds one down along the baseline. 13 for Whitler. Whitler has 13, and we're saying he's not shooting the ball very well, having a tough game. But for him, it is. Whitler will run it out and lay it up. Just that quickly, back-to-back buckets. And it's 48-40. A little full court pressure applied now. And a timeout going to be called with 4:59 to play. 3 times in this game, the clock has stopped at 4:59. That's just odd, isn't it? Not that that means anything at all, but it just struck me odd that that's the 3rd time that's happened this game. 48-40. We'll get the quick 30-second timeout here just to try to set up a little press breaker. handle that pressure. And then our next dead will go to immediate timeout, so everybody will get the full 60. That's when we'll step away again. Other games underway out there. Have you checked those scores yet? I forgot to look. See if we get an update from the AA and the Class A, probably in the first half is all out there. The Ice Arena and the Monument.
AA, O'Gorman leads T 10-4. A couple minutes left in the first quarter. And in the A tournament, Groton is up 22-8 on Stanley County.
Oh, wow. Austin went to do the step through, or the Euro, and Whitler didn't fall for it. But Whitler fouled him on the wrist, they say. We're going to go to the media timeout at 4:56 to play. We're back in 60 seconds. You're watching the Class B Boys State Basketball Tournament on SDPB Sports.
For over 55 years, Muth Electric has been powering progress across the Midwest. Our team of professionals deliver electrical solutions with innovation and safety at the core. We work with purpose, knowing that each project contributes to something bigger. Muth Electric, a partner in building a brighter future since 1970.
Your Great Plains Case IH dealers know that hard work starts early, in the field and on the field or the court. Dedication, teamwork, pride, the values driving farmers also power South Dakota athletes. Growing crops or growing champions, it takes the same drive to succeed. Your local Great Plains Case IH dealers know the future is built by showing up day after day, ready to work, ready to win. Great Plains Case IH dealers, supporting schools, athletes, and the communities we grow.
Out of the timeout, Walks Arena. I'm Brad DeBeer alongside Steve Erickson. I got to give a shout. They got the TV popping in the garage in white. Tatum and Joey Frederick are watching. Our little preschooler and first grader. Skylar Frederick, our superintendent. They're young children. I'm sure Dad Tim is watching out in Custer. He loves his basketball also. So shout out to the Frederick family as Austin makes the first free throw. Had their lawn chairs set up, the little snacks.
Nice.
Sounds like it's a pretty nice day outside again. I'm not sure. About 2:30, we'll get to step out there and check it out. Sully Buttes trailing by 10. Moore for three. No. First miss from the three-point line for him, I believe. Austin against Colson now. Morrison way out high in the Wolf logo.
You see Viber Curley just with that patience now and those back cuts. And
like that one. Jake Austin right on time. Nice call.
You just know, Sully Buttes is going to have to get up and pressure a little bit more, so a little susceptible to those backdoor cuts when you set him up as well as Viber Curley does.
Braden Morrison picks up his third personal now with 4:07 to play. So he's got to be a little bit careful. Long pass cross court against the 2-3 zone. Colson misses the three. Rebound. Sully Buttes Yackley three. Got it. Jet Yackley with his first points of the game. Austin will cross it over. Jake now. Out top. Back door. And the flush for Brady Schroedermeyer. Is that dunk number 4 or 5? Can't remember the tournament. Easton Moore.
He continues his shooting for the day.
I think it's going to be a 30. We'll take a look, and it is a 30-second timeout. 3:21 to play. Kind of reset things for you here. The alternating possession arrow will go to Viborg Hurley. 2 timeouts remaining for Sully Buttes, 3 timeouts remaining for the Cougars. Both teams have 3 fouls, so not going to see anybody run out and foul just to do that for the numbers. They've got plenty of time to try to play some good defense. Lots of possessions obviously left in this game with 3:21 to play.
And individually, Schroedermeyer and Gertis both with 4 for Viborg Hurley. Morrison with 3. Sully Buttes, the only real foul trouble. Well, Whitler picked up his 3rd just not too long ago, but Whitler and Easton Moore both with 3. You saw Easton Moore pick that 3rd up in the 2nd. He's been playing with that for quite a while, so which they've needed everything he's given them. 6 of 7 from the 3-point line for Easton today. Just a freshman, so.
Gertis, come get it and get it off to Austin. And a push, 2 hands yet. Colson popped him with 2 hands. It's automatic. Or excuse me, that was not Colson. Yeah, that was Barber. Yep, 24, not 20. Bretton's first. Schroedermeyer down the lane. Fire it out. Or Van Orsdale 3. No. Maybe a little quick that time for that shot. 3 minutes to play, an 8-point lead. Whitler left it short again. Austin will push it up across the timeline. Behind the back to split the defense. Kick it corner back to Schroedermeyer and he'll hold. Chased from behind. We're gonna have a foul on Whitler. Be on the sideline. 4th team foul as Whitler now picks up, did you say his 4th, right?
Yeah, it should be his 4th.
Yep.
Unless these are.
Yep, it's on the board now. There's his 4th. Morrison was going to check in, now comes back to the bench. Jake Austin hasn't come out yet. I don't think all tournament either, has he? Not today, anyway.
He came out just a little bit yesterday, I believe.
Okay.
Just shy of,
makes them both.
Just shy of 31 minutes a game, so when he did, it wasn't for long.
$20 for Schroedermeyer. There's a 3. And Whitler now has 18 on that 3.
First time he's really gotten a lot of space and been able to set up for a good look.
Bretton Barber going to pick up a 2nd foul. Austin at the free throw line. Jake makes the 1st. He's got 20. So Austin and Schroedermeyer each with 20. 6 for Gertis. 4 for Van Orsdale of the players that are on the floor anyway for Viborg Hurley. 9-point lead. 2.5 minutes to play. Yackley for 3. Short. No touch, will go the other way. Don't hit that cord back there. Braden Morrison will come in. Van Orsdale will check out on offense. So you're going to bring in free throw shooters, ball handlers here. Some offense for defense type stuff over the next 2.5, I would think, if you're Viborg Hurley, unless they can make a couple more shots and push this out to 15 or 16. Whitler's got to be careful. Out of bounds by Barber. Wesley Whitler up, D'ing up hard, but he's got 4 fouls. Barber will come out. Jake Austin now. Split the defense out top. Get it off to Gertis. He's kind of their calming guy out there. He just, every time he touches it, it feels like the whole defense or the whole team just goes, okay, let's reset. Brenner's got it out there. We're good. foul called on Carson Miles, his 4th personal. Jake Austin back to the free throw line. 21 points for Austin. Perfect at the free throw line. 8 for 8 at the stripe for Jake Austin. He's got 22.
Big weapon when you got a point guard that can handle and kind of run your show like Jake has done all weekend, and then be able to go to the line in games like this and shoot it with that consistency.
9 for 9 at the free throw line and 23 points in the game for the senior point guard.
Oh, great hands by Van Orsdale there.
Takeaway. And a give back. Whitler for 3. Off the backboard, no. Falling down and a foul. That's going to be on Warwick, I think.
And then they run our shot clock.
Yep, the clock's out again. You can't hit the backboard that hard.
Oh, they're giving it to Schroedermeyer. Walker Warwick's telling him it was on him.
I was going to say, I don't think Schroedermeyer was even in the play.
Warwick was begging that the foul was on him.
And I thought it was. So it was on number 5. And I think you'll see that.
Walker cheering, then he picked up a foul. But it keeps Schroedermeyer in the game.
And again, I don't think he was trying to steal it from him. I think it really was on him. We got no shot clock again. There you go. Dawn's got it now. Dawn Seiler in her final Class B state tournament as the tournament host. And she'll be stepping down as the athletic activities director at Aberdeen Central High School. Done such a fabulous job taking over for Jean Brownell, who did such a great job. And
don't know for sure, but I'm guessing you're still going to see Dawn around here in the coming years.
Yeah, she loves basketball, so she's not going to walk away that way. But Bo Beck will step
one of those
in.
blue coats now.
Yep, that's right. Bo Beck will step in and do a fantastic job as well, I'm sure. Olsen makes the first. Second one on the way is good.
Timeout for Viborg
And
Hurley.
a full timeout, Viborg Hurley. We'll take a quick break. Back with more on SDPB Sports.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family. Watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm under her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
At Southeast Technical College, you won't just study for a career, you'll live it. Training in classrooms that look, feel, and operate just like the real world. Because the best way to do what you learn is to learn by doing. Get your degree, get to work at Southeast Technical College.
Buddy.
As we come back out of the timeout, 1:43 to play. All 5 players standing out of bounds for Viborg Hurley. And they're going to have the football play, it looks like. Schroedermeyer, the quarterback. Warwick. That was interesting, wasn't it?
Kind of a 3-man weave out of bounds.
Yeah. Got to make sure you all stay out of bounds.
Yeah.
You can do that in this gym. Some gyms you can't do that in. One guy barely fits out of bounds, let alone 5 at some of the gyms you play in. All of that for a quick foul and free throws for Jake Austin to add to his total. Now he's got 24. 10 of 10 at the free throw line for Jake. Again, we'll talk with the winning coach at the end of this game after we hand out awards and they take pictures. 11 for 11 at the free throw line for Jake Austin. And an 11-point win. And Schroedermeyer takes a charge. And a foul going to be called on Whitler. He will foul out as the all-time leading scorer in Sully Buttes High School history. Wesley Whitler will go to the bench, scoring 18 points in his final game as a Charger. 1:32 to play.
And one of those kids that's been doing it for quite a while at Sully Buttes. You're glad they made the state tournament so the rest of the state can see that kid play.
And that's the thing, that's a dream of his. As I read some stuff about him, he talked about just the dream to play in the state tournament with all the personal and individual accolades he's had. This was what he always wanted to be a part of, and you're right, got to be a part of it as a senior. That's pretty cool stuff. Morrison at the free throw line. That foul going to go on Easton Moore. Morrison makes the first. Just when you think free throws don't matter, kids, look at the free throws right now for Viborg Hurley. They've missed 3 free throws the entire game and haven't missed one in the second half.
Well, and if they miss some of those, this is Sully Buttes tightens this thing up a little bit more. So
they were 3 for 5 in the first half. Baseball pass to Schroedermeyer on the breakout and a foul. It's a pretty good arm.
Yeah, great pass by Walker to
Schroedermeyer at the stripe. Gets that one to go. Brady has missed a couple of free throws, but they were in the first half. And the second half streak continues. Moore left that one short. 66-53 our score. Easton not really having the feet set, just had to let it fly. They're going to bring Carson Miles back in, a 5'9" freshman. Going to start subbing out their seniors maybe to get their due. Gavin Colson will come out, and the Charger fans will stand and cheer him on as that senior will play in his final game as a Sully Buttes Charger as well. Golson Whitler and James Miles, number 44, the only seniors. And a huge two-hand flush by Schroedermeyer. If you took the over on dunks, you're a winner. Schroedermeyer going to be fouled by Miles. We'll get 2 more free throws out of it. Here it comes. Well, the end of it anyway. That was good. To see him hang, we're going to rewind it. Hey! Here he comes. The two-hand flush. The way he can jump backwards, that's pretty good. That's athletic. Schroedermeyer missed that one. 24 in the game for Schroedermeyer. I think James Miles will check out. Jake Austin will check out. The senior point guard, so seniors coming out to their due from the fans.
hats off to Jake Austin. He had a whale of a tournament for Viborg Hurley.
Yeah.
Did everything that he could possibly do, and
you'll see
as a senior, good to see him.
More coming in here. They're waiting for when you going to sub him. They're all waiting. I go, let him shoot. Yeah. And then just hoping he makes this.
Coach wants to get him out as.
And there it is.
Yep.
A made free throw for the final basket of Brady Schroedermeyer's career. Brenner Gertis will check out. Braden Morrison will come out. And Walker Warwick will check out. The 5 senior starters for this Viborg Hurley team. Of course, Nolan Koltoff, the 6'4 senior, was unable to finish the last 2 games because of the ankle injury that happened right here to our left in the opening game. And they will take home 7th place. Sully Butte's going to swing it around. They want him to shoot it. Just off the back iron for Lincoln Olson of Sully Buttes. Now Lindemann will bring it up. Launch one, logo Lindemann. A little long. They all want to shoot the 3, maybe. No, Lindemann wants it. Give me the ball. Look at
Give me the ball.
Brock Fredrickson says, Lindemann hits the 3. Coach Moore didn't really want him to shoot that, but he does. He was calling for the ball. Lindemann, a 5'11 senior, by the way. I just noticed, I didn't realize that he was a senior. He played early, but he hits his last shot as a senior. We'll take it to a break, come back and hand out some awards. You're watching Class B Boys basketball on SDPB Sports.
We aren't meant to be still. And while you determine the direction you'll go, we're just here to help you along the way. So go. Go with experience. Go with teamwork. Go with neighbors. Go with integrity.
Let's send it to Ken Hansen for some awards.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like to direct your attention to the center of Don Meyer Court as we present the awards to the teams playing for 7th and 8th. Here to present the awards are Christina Sage, Assistant Executive Director of the South Dakota High School Activities Association. Assisting with team awards are representatives of the Activity Association's corporate partners, Kathy Petra and Sharna Anderson from Sanford Health, Belinda Weller from Dakota Bank, Mark Roselle from Farmers Union Insurance, and Sergeant First Class Missy Weigel for the South Dakota Army National Guard. Earning 8th place in this year's state tournament are the Sully Buttes Chargers. Jackson Paxton, Easton Moore, Hudson Barber, Jet Yackley, Carson Miles, Wesley Whitler, Gavin Colson,
I'll have
Lincoln
the handheld
Olson,
when you come back to me.
Breton Barber, Chase Height, Carson Mercer, Cooper Falkenhagen, and James Miles. Statistician Isabel Kalhoff. Videographer Jeremy Stump. Assistant coach Jesse Whitler. Assistant coach Scott Sefner. And the head coach of the Sully Buttes Chargers, Brian White. The Sully Buttes Chargers. Sully Buttes Welcome Home will take place at the Ingalls Event Center following the conclusion of today's game in downtown Aberdeen. And your winner of today's game, earning 7th place, the Viborg Hurley Cougars. Braden Morrison, Brenner Gertis, Jake Austin, Nolan Kolthoff, Walker Warwick, Lincoln Van Orsdale, Godwin Johnson, Noah Wordle, Stetson Lounsbury, Brady Schroedermeyer, Brock Fredrickson, Cooper Weir, Gavin Nelson, Caden Thibodeau Lindemann, Sierra Cordell, Presley Skondhoff, Riker Larson, Burke Hauger, Bowden Gertis, assistant coach Mason Madsen, Corey Jacobson, and the head coach of the Viborg Hurley Cougars, Shane Warwick. Your 7th place finisher, the Viborg Hurley Cougars.
Welcome back, Walks Arena. The awards being handed out. We're going to catch up with head coach Shane Warwick here. Steve, your thoughts on that one? Boy, Viborg Hurley did a good job second half to really just hang around, make some big shots, and then kind of run away with it.
Yeah, they did a nice job in the second half. It was, close going into halftime, and both teams kind of feeling each other out in that third game. And we talked about it, legs are going to be a factor. And Viborg Hurley, they did down the stretch, did a nice job at the free throw line, like we talked about, 22 of 27 from the line for the game, and that's how you put one of those away. And Sully Buttes just kind of running out of gas at the end, and legs tired, and just some jumpers short, and allowed Viborg Hurley to kind of pull away there at the end.
Coach Warwick going to make his way over here. His team going to make their way back, put the sticker up on the board to claim 7th place, and Coach Warwick comes on in. Congrats, Coach. Talked to Coach Rosh last night after their win, and he made the comment winning one game in this tournament is hard, and you guys came in with high hopes as the 1 seed. Things didn't go your way, but you battled back, got to win tonight.
Yeah, you know, I'm really proud of our seniors. I'm not sure I've seen a balanced field like this in the state tournament, where I think through the first day everything was under 5 points, and maybe through 2 was at 8. But so the competition was great, and you know, once again the state did a great job, and it was a great tournament, and great memory for our kids.
For sure. Talk specifically today, that second half, you guys changed a little bit in the second half with just energy and came out, hit some big shots. Jake Austin led you guys all weekend.
Yeah, Jake had just an unbelievable weekend, and you know, great kid, great leader. And I think, like I said, this group has had some toughness all year long, not quitting, playing from behind, and just doing kind of what it takes to win. So, like, I say that, we're really proud of them.
War, congratulations. Got a chance to coach your senior son, too. That's pretty special.
Yeah, I was thankful, and it was a blessing, and great memory.
Have a great time, buddy. Congratulations. Appreciate it. Shane Warwick, head coach of Viborg Hurley. We'll take a break. Back with more on SDPB Sports.
You hear about work-life balance like it's a big equation you have to find the answer to. But I think it's much simpler than that. So simple, it was right in front of us. Start with the life you want, and everything else will follow.
Educators across South Dakota are coming together to elevate, educate, and empower. This June, the Department of Education hosts the South Dakota Literacy Conference in Mitchell, a gathering dedicated to advancing the science of reading and sharing new insights into how students learn, exploring research and real-world strategies for South Dakota educators to move literacy forward for all learners. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
Bank West is rooted in South Dakota. Committed to local success. Just like you. We're all connected. In South Dakota. For South Dakota. Convenient, connected, committed. Bank West.
On the next Dakota Life.
Greetings from Eureka.
Greetings from Eureka.
Greetings from Eureka, South Dakota.
It's a great small town. We love to help each other. We are always there for each other.
We like to have fun. We like to gather.
It just feels like home. It's just that comfortable. That's what sets us apart.
If you're ever in Eureka, stop and see us. We'd love to visit with you.
Tonight after basketball on SDPB.
Welcome back to Walks Arena. We're going to take a look at some highlights from that 7th and 8th place game where you saw Viborg Hurley pull out the 72-53 victory over Sully Buttes. We talked about it, even game going into half, 2-point lead for Sully Buttes at the half, and Viborg Hurley comes back and puts together a nice second half, outscoring Sully Buttes 19-11 in the third and 30-17 in the fourth quarter for those two. Some individual stats. Jake Austin finished with 25 points for the Cougars. We talked about his steady hand at the point guard spot down the stretch, 11 of 11 from the free throw line. Brady Schroedermeyer, the other senior, finished with 25 points and 14 rebounds in his final game in a Cougar uniform. You saw Brady get away with a couple dunks there too, and that one showed off his athleticism. And you heard Coach Warren talk about their seniors and what it meant for them, and it was good to see them come out and get that done. On the other side, Easton Moore, the freshman for Sully Buttes, finished with 23 points, 6 of 8 from downtown. Wesley Whitler, the senior, finished with 18 points. He came in, I believe, needing about 41 to get the 2,000-point milestone. Ended with 18 in his final game as a Sully Buttes Charger, 6 rebounds for Wesley to go along with that. So kudos to Wesley in his career. He does finish as Sully Buttes' all-time leading scorer. He broke that opening night, passing Blake Hyde's record for the Chargers. So great to see both those teams come out and compete like they did in 7th and 8th place game, and you would have known it from the energy and effort that those teams played with and competed with in that contest.
We're going to run a little package here for you. Step away, get ready for our next game, but we remind you the Copel name needs little introduction amongst basketball fans in South Dakota. Ashlyn Copel, now a senior for Wagner, continuing to add to her family's legacy. Earlier this season, the Gatorade Player of the Year now for South Dakota high school girls. SDPB took a trip to Wagner to spend the day with her, one of the best basketball players in the state.
The town of Wagner is located in southeast South Dakota, east of Lake Andes, west of Avon, and south of Armour. It's a nice town that is home to one of the most heavily recruited athletes we've seen in the state, Ashlyn Copel.
It's always been one of my passions and something I've been wanting to be really good at. It's always been like a really big part of my life. My parents are both coaches, so I've kind of grown up in the gym, running the family with basketball, so yeah, it's all really special.
Ashlyn's aunt Mandy Copel had a standout career in both high school at Wagner and collegiately at the University of South Dakota. But for Ashlyn, she's dedicated to creating her own unique legacy.
She's kind of always just pushed me. After I beat her scoring record, she sent me a text just like saying how proud of me she was. And yeah, she's just been like a really important person in my life growing up, so it's all been super cool to just kind of follow in her footsteps. I try to get here every morning, wake up at 6 and come shoot. And then, yeah, I'm usually here until like 8. And I try to do that every morning. I mean, there's days where I sleep in or like we get home late so I don't come in, but yeah, I've put a lot of hours into this game, so it's just nice to see that it's all paid off. From November to March is kind of just all basketball. I mean, I wake up, go to the gym, and then I'll be in school and I'll be watching film if I don't have anything to do. Yeah, practice after school, usually watching like college games.
Ashlyn quickly rose to being one of the most sought-after young basketball players in the nation.
I think the recruiting process alone was like one of the hardest things I've been through, which sounds bad to say because there's a lot of people that like want to be in my situation. There's a lot to deal with at first. I mean, I was super excited, like loved the phone calls, loved texting the coaches, and just like soaking it all in. And then it started to get like more and more busy, and I felt like I was like constantly on the phone with people, dreading calls, like dreading going to visit schools. And it kind of just like consumed all my time, and I felt like I was like not enjoying my high school experience and just like being a kid. So I decided to just narrow it down, and that like really let the pressure off me, and things got a lot better then.
Once the list was narrowed, she made the decision to commit to the Cornhuskers.
I just really like their coaching staff, the way they play, just like the campus. It's only 4 hours from here, so like when I want to come home, I'll be able to come home. My family will be able to make it to games. So, I mean, it was really a no-brainer to go to Nebraska.
Ashlyn's dad, Mike, is her high school head coach.
Yeah, that's an experience that I don't think is very common, so I try to soak it in. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, there's definitely days where like we butt heads or don't get along, but I think finding the right balance between him being my coach and being my dad has been really important. And we've kind of found that more and more over the years. And yeah, I'm super excited to just play my last year with him being my coach and just soaking it all in.
I really don't think as a dad, you know, like when I have her, like I consider all my girls, I've always told them, you're all my kids. I want to treat you like a dad. I respect you and care for you guys all that way. Just as a coach, you know, you got to cut that separation. Like, yes, she's my own blood, but she's one of my players. And, you know, I hold her standards just as high as all the other kids' standards. Having your own kid too, going back when you're a dad plus the coach, I mean, I get after her just as much as I get after the other kids. And it's kind of a, by example, like, oh geez, he's after Ashlyn. Like, I better do what he's telling me to do, because he really does mean it, because it's not just, oh, she knows everything or she's better and she's more skilled. It's everybody's on the same cut. It doesn't matter if you're the top or the bottom link. It's we're coaching you all up, and you all have expectations and standards that you need to abide by.
Her mom, Tara, is an assistant coach for Wagner, who brings balance to the bench.
She's definitely like the one that can settle him down and just like the encourager on the team, and then he's the one that's kind of like the more aggressive one. But yeah, they balance each other out well and usually figure it out, so.
She also had told me once she doesn't like that she's just known for basketball. And I said, what do you want your legacy to be, whatever it is? She goes, I just want people to know that I have these talents because of God. God gave me these talents, and I want to give him the glory that he deserves because of that. I can see her really trying to rise up to that during college and just hanging on to that a little bit tighter.
Ask the Copels and they'll tell you. They love Wagner, and they think it's a place that everyone can enjoy.
You know, there's a lot of people around the state like, oh, Wagner's from a reservation. You know, I just wish they could come and spend a few weeks here at our school, because it doesn't matter the color of our skin. All these kids are willing to give the clothes off their back and do whatever it takes to make it better.
Just here for the kids and here to make it a great experience for them, or try to get them to enjoy it and find some passion for it and keep going.
There's a lot of communities like ours that just like love their teams, love their community, and just support in any way they can. And I feel like that's how Wagner is. I feel like everyone here just knows everyone, so that's like a big help. And I just have a lot of family here too. So yeah, it's just been all really cool to be a part of.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
Don't be fooled by that beat-up old cap. Its faded crown represents the tireless work of America's farmers and ranchers. Its sturdy brim, their dedication to providing our nation with a safe, affordable food source. From sunup to sundown, they're turning quarters into the dollars that drive our rural economy. So we'd like to tip our hat to them. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting those that protect America's food source.
We came across this intriguing story.
Things are starting to get going.
Are you prepared?
It is a golden opportunity.
It's not over.
It will be all that you've dreamed of.
Back inside Walks Arena. I'm Brad DeBeer alongside Steve Erickson as we prepare ourselves for game number 2 here this afternoon. Our consolation championship between the D. Smith Bulldogs, 20-5 on the season. And the Aberdeen Christian Knights 21-4. Take a look at our two teams involved in this contest. We start first with the Bulldogs of DeSmet out of Kingsbury County in DeSmet, South Dakota. Jeff Grunhagen, the head coach. 70 is your number of students, grades 9 through 11. Maroon and gold, the school colors. College Boy is the school song. They got here by beating Iroquois Lake Preston in the opening round of region play. A last-second shot to defeat Dubrook 53-51 in Region 2B action. A 11-point victory over Ipswich in the Sodak 16. And then the 3-point loss to Wall in the opening round. The 7-point win over Sully Buttes yesterday to advance to this consolation championship. They'll start this way. 6'3" junior Noah Luthmers. The 6'2" senior, it'll be Slayton Wilkinson. The 5'9" senior Colby Sinclair. And the other senior 6'10", and at the center position number 34, Grant Wilkinson. Carter Wilkinson rounds out the starting lineup, the 6'6" junior. Take a look at the home team on the scoreboard wearing the light uniforms. Aberdeen Christian, the Knights. Out of Aberdeen, Brown County, of course, Matt Rohrbach, the head coach. 64 students, grades 9 through 11. Maroon, silver, and white on Wisconsin is the school song. They beat Waverly South Shore, they beat Warner, and then a win over Sioux Falls Lutheran in the Sodak 16. They lose to Castlewood on the opening day, 53-50, and then win by 3 over Viborg Hurley yesterday, 52-49. They'll start this way. Number 0, Jet Johnson, the 6'2" senior. Dylan Hofer play the point guard, 5'8" junior. Grady Jet, a 6'4" senior, will play the forward spot. 6'4" junior Luke Kaiser and 6'5" junior Brooks Jet round out your First Dakota starting lineups for both Aberdeen Christian and DeSmet. As we get ready for action here in our Consolation Championship, here's Ken Hansen with our public address.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Walks Arena. The city of Aberdeen, Aberdeen Central, Northern State University, the South Dakota High School Activity Association, its corporate partners, Sanford Health, Dakota Bank, Farmers Union Insurance, Billion Automotive, and the South Dakota Army National Guard welcome you for the Consolation Championship between the Aberdeen Christian Knights and the DeSmet Bulldogs. Let's meet today's officials. First, our junior officials from Aberdeen Christian, Noah Stoutenberg. And from DeSmet, Everett Lee. Today's game officials, Lee Johnson, Spencer Auberly, Scott Sonny, and alternate official, Jeremy Michelson. Senior number 11, Colby Sinclair. And for the Knights, 6'4", senior number 2, Grady Jet. In the middle for the Bulldogs, 6'10", senior number 34, Grant Wilkinson. And for the Knights, 6'4", junior number 3, Luke Kaiser. And a forward, 6'6", junior number 45, Carter Wilkinson. And for the Knights, 6'5", junior number 4, Brooks Jett. The Bulldogs are coached by Daniel Patine Jr. and head coach Jeff Groenhagen. The Knights are coached by Marcus Robinson, Khalil Bolden, Jared Becker, and the head coach of the Aberdeen Christian Knights, Matt Rohrbach. Today's lineups are brought to you by Channel Seed. Our student sections brought to you by the USD. Bulldog fans, are you ready? Knight fans, are you ready? Let's play ball.
Time to tip it up in our consolation championship game. The difference? A trophy instead of a plaque, and the chance to have 2 wins in this state tournament, just like second and third place.
And then this is a game that could easily be a night game this evening too, if
for sure
things go wrong, different that first night for these two teams. So this should be a high intense game here.
Grady Jett will tip it up with Grant Wilkinson, and Wilkinson will win the tip. Now Slayton Wilkinson fired outside. Carter Wilkinson for 3 to start it. No, rebound inside Brooks Jett. Here come the Knights. They're going to look to try to run DeSmit out of it early, probably. Kaiser, the pitch back to Hofer. Hofer will slow it down, give it back up on the weave. Brooks Jett now against Carter Wilkinson. Skip it across the lane. Jett Johnson against Luthmers, one-on-one, the man-to-man for DeSmit to start this. That is their go-to defense. They will switch into a 2-3 when they need to. We saw it last night. Jett Johnson no good, and Carter Wilkinson with the rebound backside.
Yeah, Aberdeen Christian with a team with some nice size. So it'll be interesting to see how they're gonna try to defend DeSmit, because when you say a team has nice size and then you look out there at DeSmit, it kind of redefines what you're talking about.
Yeah, when you got that 6'10" guy in the middle, everybody else at 6'4", 6'5" looks little. Brooks Jett will take it past Carter Wilkinson. Carter will reach around and swat the arm. Carter will pick up his first personal.
That's one thing DeSmit can't afford is foul trouble. They've played basically one guy off the bench in this tournament and most of the season, so.
And Grant Wilkinson, one of those guys that has not stepped off the floor. 6'10", 280 plus, and he has played all 64 minutes in 2 games.
And I would venture to guess is going to play 32 more today.
If this one gets out of hand, that's the only way he's coming out, one way or the other. But Slayton Wilkinson 3, no good. Luthmers rebound. Luthmers in the paint, turnaround off the glass, no good. Rebound batted around. Save, no, out of bounds. Can't save it, as it'll be DeSmit basketball. Good hustle by Grady Jett, just can't come up with it. There you see a tip by Brooks Jett, and then last touch, but stepped on the line. Scott Sonny will trigger to Slayton Wilkinson, and we're ready to inbound.
And one of the things we talked about yesterday with DeSmit was their supporting cast, and they got contributions from numerous guys outside of Grant Wilkinson yesterday. So
interesting to watch the different teams and how they try to guard Grant Wilkinson. Step through. Luke Kaiser will go to the free throw line. Early foul here again on the Bulldogs. You'll see it, the step through. And then the reach in there by Colby Sinclair.
Kaiser had a big ball game yesterday for Aberdeen Christian with 26 points.
He had a decent game day 1.
Just 11 that game, but yeah, yesterday just kind of exploded.
And he led them emotionally. I mean, the energy he brought really lifted his team.
There's one thing Coach Rohrbach had pointed out too about Kaiser, of getting his guys together. And
Brooks Jett with the offensive rebound and the putback. 2-0, the Knights first on the board. Just about 3 minutes gone in our opening quarter already. Sinclair up off the glass and in. And Colby Sinclair aggressive offensively here to open things up. Colby, a 5'9" senior. 3 seniors in this starting lineup for the Bulldogs. Brooks Jett going to be fouled. Is that going to be on Carter Wilkinson, or are they going to call that on Grant? That'll be on Grant Wilkinson. Grant to pick up his first personal.
Brooks Jett is one of those guys too. Has he not came out of either of those first 2 ball games for Aberdeen Christian, him and Dylan Hofer.
Shot up and no good on the free throw. Carter Wilkinson with another rebound. Lutmers will bring it up. 5:10 to play in the opening quarter. In early for Aberdeen Christian, number 10, Raymond Rodriguez Martinez. In the paint, Wilkinson, little jumper for Slayton. And the Bulldogs lead 4-2. Tipped up top, Brooks Jett thought about the 3 against Carter Wilkinson. Leave it underneath, Grady Jett. Rodriguez Martinez, kick out, 3 on the way. Kaiser, no. We're gonna have a foul, we'll go the other way, and we'll get to immediate timeout after we intro the foul. Maybe. There we get it. Immediate timeout with 4:35 to play. We'll take a break. We're back with more on SDPB Sports.
You live life on the move. While you determine what direction that may be, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with values. Go with friends. Go with support. Go with convenience.
Back to set it in play here in our first quarter, our first media timeout. 4:35 to play in the opening quarter. Slayton Wilkinson across the timeline now. They're just gonna let him go. He'll take it right at Jett, throw it out, throw it away. Rodriguez Martinez off the glass and good on the run out layup.
Good job jumping that passing lane and the speed from Rodriguez Martinez.
And 5'8" senior, gonna get a little time here today. So Carter Wilkinson 3, no.
Gonna kind of be tasked with guarding Lutmers, it looks like too, so.
He came in the game last year, I remember a couple times, different games.
And spark plug type
energy
guy.
And get up and down the floor quick. Grady Jett now to the left elbow, handoff. Kaiser no good, rebound. 3 for Grady Jett, no, tipped out. That's a good push by Hofer.
Yeah.
Brooks Jett for 3. Slayton Wilkinson all the way to mid post. Dishes it inside to Grant Wilkinson, turnaround up and in. Grant's first bucket of the game.
Talk about it. Grant just doesn't force stuff. It's gonna. Yesterday in the ball game, didn't score a lot early, but
Kaiser, good patience by him. Faked the pass and a hard step to go off with the left hand, or the right hand on the left side rather. Lutmers now, that's a quick dribble. Oh,
Lutmers left.
Yeah, that was pretty. A lot of one-on-one right now, but the way that defense is being applied, the Smith's going to have to do that a little bit until they can get somebody free and get the ball to Grant. Kaiser left it short. Battle for the rebound. Wilkinson grabs it. Grady Jett. Ooh, he's like, the big guy leaned on me. Slayton Wilkinson to the lane. That one blocked. They'll run it out. Brooks Jett will gather. Three-pointer in the right corner. Got it! Brooks Jett, back-to-back threes. It's 12-8 Aberdeen Christian.
Brooks has been quiet offensively through the first 2 games.
They put this defense, the way they're playing it, if you're a fan of basketball, to try to take away their team's best player, this is great. They put Grady Jett behind Grant Wilkinson and Brooks Jett guarding Slayton Wilkinson, but totally just playing off of him and staying in front of Grant. So you got a 6'5" guy who can get up off the floor quick in front of him, and then a quicker guy behind.
6'4" behind, too.
Yeah.
So Aberdeen Christian's got a little more length to try to hopefully defend that a little bit better. Whereas you saw Sully Buttes yesterday giving up almost a foot.
Lutmers goes 1 for 2. Hand off, Brooks Jett. Swing it around. Hofer now. Jett Johnson. Hofer underneath. Just about got that to go. Rebound taken out of there. Now Lutmers will control. 12-9 our score. Noah, the 6'3" junior point guard here for D. Smith. Pull up 3. Got it. He's starting to feel it just a little bit, and that'll loosen things up if he can knock down some shots.
And Noah had a really good season as a junior this year for De Smet. Just a steady presence at the point guard position. It really gets them into their stuff. And
Luke Kaiser for 3. Well, and Lutmer's just kind of growing into his body a little bit too. I mean, he's long, you can see, athletic. Troy Van Regenwater gives up to Lutmers. On the baseline, Lutmers pull up Jay, in and out. Grant Wilkinson up and in. Good job by Wilkinson, don't bring it down.
Yeah.
Shot it while still in the air. You know every time he knows every time he catches it, there's gonna be 6-8 hands in there trying to take it away, so he's just gonna keep it up. No one can touch it.
Pushing on him or laying on him at somehow, but
Trout. Brooks Jett, little antsy on the sideline. Wilkinson will leave it to Lutmers. Lutmers will kind of lose his balance. Hofer up and in on the takeaway.
Tangled up a little bit, maybe.
Yeah. And at the buzzer, no good. Aberdeen Christian with the steal and the layup. Makes it 17-14. We're back in 60 on SDPB Sports.
It's not just about making a living. It's about upholding a way of life. We are connected to this land. Committed to the future. Bank West.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm onto her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
Class B boys state basketball tournament action. Our consolation championship at Walks Arena in Aberdeen. Brad DeVere alongside Steve Erickson. And Aberdeen Christian came out ready to go, Steve, in that first quarter.
They did. They really attacked. You can see their game plan defensively against DeSmet. Both teams shooting the ball well. 7 of 15 for Aberdeen Christian, 6 of 14 for DeSmet.
Kaiser with the crossover, takes it at Slayton Wilkinson, then up in over Grant Wilkinson to finish. Luke Kaiser feeling it here this weekend. He's continuing that confident play that he put out there yesterday. Big game in the state tournament, you come out that next game feeling like you want the ball.
But he does it within the flow of stuff too. He's not forcing.
Carter Wilkinson for 3.
So those complimentary players for the Bulldogs stepping up again. Carter, a rough night shooting it the first evening, but knocked a couple down yesterday.
Kaiser following his shot. Step through, Hofer, one extra pass. Jet Johnson 3. No, too strong. Luke Kaiser to Brooks Jet. Pump fake, pass Wilkinson. Over Grant Wilkinson. Got his own rebound. No, that's tied up and tipped out. Now DeSmet will control across half-court line. Carter Wilkinson waiting for cousin Grant to get inside. He's triple teamed in there. Slayton Wilkinson no good. Grant had position, blocked by Brooks Jet. And then Luthmers will lay it up and in. Body's just tangled up in there.
There's some big boys out there on the floor today.
Grant might have got away with a hold on Brooks Jet there as that loose ball came down, but he feels like he deserves it, right? He's earned it.
Gotten held for 25 games now.
Yeah. Slayton Wilkinson to the lane, dump it down. Grant Wilkinson, little drop step up and in. And will every so often Slayton will keep that and go one extra dribble. But usually it's a dump off. Luke Kaiser, his own rebound up and in. 9 for Kaiser. There's the one across the lane, and he gets the layup.
Slayton's really improved his game at that this year, and just a byproduct of playing off the cousin on the inside.
Oh, and you've talked about it. That's what he has to do to give Grant a little relief once in a while.
And you can see the way they're guarding him. It's the guy guarding Slayton is basically doubling Grant from the get-go. So they're gonna give that to you. So if Slayton can continue to make those plays.
Wilkinson, Slayton inside to Grant, had lost the handle. Grant got a little deep in the corner that time. Kaiser with the, Luke with the push, gets pushed, I should say. The sidestep, can't get it to finish. We'll go to the media timeout. And we'll see if they give it to us. They're gonna hit the horn, now we got it. Media timeout, 4:41 to play. We're back with more on SDPB Sports.
For your little ones and your biggest joys, or your forever friends, and your fur kids too. For your better half, or your all-time bestie. For the reasons you smile, there's coverage. With dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of South Dakota and Delta Vision.
Start tomorrow, we'll have it next year. Back out of the timeout, Wax Arena on the campus of Northern State University, Don Meyer Court, where the State B tournament is played. Again, just try not to beat a dead horse, so to speak, but what a beautiful facility for this tournament. It's just, I mean, to be a part of it here, the excitement, it's a fun place to play. Too, we come up here for team camp every year. I bring my girls up here, play out, and you get to experience the campus a little bit. Just a good campus up here in Aberdeen.
Yep, Northern's Aberdeen, great job of hosting it. And this facility, like you said, is one of the best to watch a basketball game, too.
Kaiser, he's good on the first. He's got 10 here in the first half, so his offensive outburst continues. Double digits in all 3 games. (23-22) Bulldogs by 1. Oh, tied up. Excuse me. Sorry, 23-23 on that free throw. I was looking at my computer. They haven't updated the stat one yet. Lob inside to Grant Wilkinson. Wilkinson again, going to go up strong, and they take it away. Hofer off the glass, no good. Rebound, battle for it. Still alive, Kaiser blocked. Loose ball, Slayton Wilkinson will fire it up to Luthmers. And that'll go off of Rodriguez Martinez.
Wild about 20 seconds there.
Coach Gruenhagen telling Grant and the rest of the Bulldogs, slow down, calm down. He looked at Grant like, I know, it's tough down there for you, but just stay calm. The demeanor of Coach Gruenhagen, I love watching him on the sidelines at state tournament time. Credit him for some of these victories over the years that they've won. They've had some great players, do not get me wrong. Wilkinson, Slayton knocks down a shot, but he's done a great job since taking over the program and just continuing to build it.
And you mentioned it opening night when they were down 10 or 12 in that ball game.
Luke Kaiser.
There wasn't going to be any panic from them, and that comes from Coach Gruenhagen.
It does. Just kind of a low-key guy, and then high-character guy. That's the other part with Jeff. I like that guy. Carter Wilkinson for 3.
Carter's second 3 of the ball game.
So the basket's starting to open up a little bit here. 28-26. Grady Jett, handoff. Rodriguez Martinez down the lane, loses it. Then Riggenmorter will take it. Give it up to Luthmers. Crossover. Luthmers showing some athleticism. Little Euro, can't get it to go. Rebound Brooks Jett. Dylan Hofer now. He'll look to push. One-on-one with Van Riggenmorter. Good defense to slow that down. Grady Jett, 3. Steps into it, leaves it short. Rebound, Luthmers way up high. Slayton Wilkinson will run sideline. Pull-up jumper, got it. Slayton Wilkinson decided, hey, you're not going to guard me. I'm just going to start shooting it. 30-26 Bulldogs. Consolation championship on the line here in this one. Left wing to the lane, Kaiser keeps it, almost flipped that up and in. Luthmers just about tipped that in. He's smiling as he comes up with it. Luthmers leave it. Left wing. Slayton Wilkinson feeling it, shooting the 3. Van Riggenmorter with the offensive rebound. Step in the lane. Pop it up and good. Van Riggenmorter with the bucket. If you dismiss and you think Grant Wilkinson's only got 6 points in the first half, you're thinking, oof, we got a battle. And they're leading, and that's what he's got. They're going to say, hands out over the top. Let's see it. Well, definitely, he was definitely not straight up and down. There is absolutely no doubt that his arms were not straight up and down. So you can't question that, and that's exactly what he called.
Hey, you were mentioning about those other guys for DeSmit. Luthmers 8, Slayton Wilkinson 8. Van Riggenmorter with 2, Carter Wilkinson with 6. So that supporting cast again. Opening round, it was Grant from the opening tip all night long. Second round, it was Grant taking over in the second half.
Well, that's the problem when you score 40. Not that people didn't already know about you, but now everybody knows they have to guard you, right? It's not like you get to come out here and just go at it free.
And 3 different kind of game plans to try to neutralize him a little bit too from all 3 ball games.
D. Smith, not the cheerleaders per se, but the student section leading each other there. I don't even know what that thing means. They all do it. I don't have enough rhythm to do that, so I don't try. (32-26). There you see a little one in the crowd racing back and forth behind the Aberdeen Christian student section. Even the fans got to have a little break in the timeout. They all sat down, buzzer goes, they all stand back up. Free throws out of the timeout. Brooks Jett will have 2. He's been quiet this quarter. Scored 8 in the first quarter. There he makes a free throw. He was 0 for 2. Now 1 for 3 with 9 points. Jett finishes off his time at the free throw line. 2 for 2 there. Wilkinson, Slayton will push again. Luthmers gives up to be a foul as he gives up to Colby Sinclair. A foul on Jett Johnson, his first personal. Sinclair no good. 14 fouls total in the entire game on DeSmit. 2 on Aberdeen Christian. 0 for 2 trip to the free throw line for Colby Sinclair. Jett Johnson for 3. No, too strong.
Jett came out that opening game and hit, 4 in that first quarter and has really kind of struggled to shoot the ball since then.
Slayton Wilkinson, free throw line jumper, no good. Rebound, Brooks Jett. Brooks with 6 boards in the game. Kaiser has 7 rebounds. Hofer blocked by Wilkinson. He'll fire it out to Luthmers, who will bring it across the timeline. Slayton Wilkinson hold everything up. Let Grant get down inside. Dump down to Slayton Wilkinson, too strong off the glass. Rebound Brooks Jett to Dylan Hofer, and Coach Rohrbach wants 1 shot.
Good patience by Grant that time to wait for the double to come and then over his shoulder to Slayton, just couldn't finish it.
Grady Jett across the free throw line. Kaiser will back it out. DeSmit should lead going into halftime though, as Kaiser will put it in his hands. Long 3, in and out. Colby Sinclair, 3-quarter court, no. Ball boys are trying to catch it. And we'll go to halftime. 32-28, DeSmit over Aberdeen Christian in our consolation championship. We'll take a break. We're back in 2 on SDPB Sports.
You kept us fed through tough times. And despite rising business costs, you keep doing what you love because you know you're making a difference. No matter the challenges, we're here to help you navigate the highs and lows to grow your business, to improve your land, or to buy new equipment. We all rely on you, and we're just happy to return the favor. Go with Allies. Go with trust. Go with Dakota Bank.
Don't be fooled by that beat-up old cap. Its faded crown represents the tireless work of America's farmers and ranchers. Its sturdy brim, their dedication to providing our nation with a safe, affordable food source. From sunup to sundown, they're turning quarters into the dollars that drive our rural economy. So we'd like to tip our hat to them. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting those that protect America's food source.
Bioethanol supplies more than just energy. It creates jobs in rural communities. It drives demand for local corn. It provides opportunities for family farms to thrive. To ensure agriculture plays a leading role in the efforts to decarbonize and transition energy, bioethanol remains at the forefront of a pursuit for a cleaner, brighter future for all Americans. Learn how at sdethanol.com.
At Southeast Technical College, you won't just study for a career, you'll live it. Training in classrooms that look, feel, and operate just like the real world. Because the best way to do what you learn is to learn by doing. Get your degree, get to work at Southeast Technical College.
It's halftime of the Consolation Championship inside Walks Arena in the Barnett Center. I'm Brad DeBeer alongside Steve Erickson as we take a look at some of those first half highlights and stats. DeSmet leading 32-28. And again, early on, that first quarter, teams were pretty similar shooting-wise. DeSmet kept it going where Aberdeen Christian fell off just a little bit.
Yeah, Aberdeen Christian 14 of 32, 3 of 8 from 3. Wow, or no, sorry, that was DeSmet. While Aberdeen Christian 10 of 31 and 4 of 14 from 3. So that's kind of the way DeSmet's going to shoot that percentage, because the majority of their shots are coming from in the paint with the big fellas. So at the half for Aberdeen Christian, Luke Kaiser with 14 points and 7 rebounds. Brooks Jett 10 points and 7 rebounds. DeSmet with a 23-19 advantage on the glass still, but Kaiser and Jett trying to keep them in there on the boards. For DeSmet, you got Noah Luthmers and Slayton Wilkinson both with 8. Grant and Carter Wilkinson both with 6. Colby Sinclair and Coy Van Regan will each have 2. So, you know, we've mentioned it numerous times, that supporting cast, and today it's Slayton Wilkinson and Noah Luthmers kind of stepping up and getting the offense going here a little bit to try to loosen some things up to open up some space for Grant Wilkinson in the middle.
Aberdeen Christian being led by Luke Kaiser with 14, Brooks Jett with 10. They also got 2 points each from Dylan Hofer and from Raymond Rodriguez Martinez. 5 lead changes. We've been tied 6 different times. The largest lead was held by DeSmet with 6 points here with 1:48 to go in that second period. Aberdeen Christian did lead by 5 in that second period with 7:44 to play. So just opening up that second quarter, they did hold a 5-point lead. But regardless, it was DeSmet being able to battle back, make some shots, and take a little pressure off Grant Wilkinson inside. But you talked about coming from the paint, not all just on the block type shots. It's attacking the lane, pull-up jumpers, because there's room, because Wilkinson's staying low, and it's allowing those guys to Luthmers and Wilkinson, Slayton, to get to that painted area.
And it's just those guys figuring out where those spots are at, how they're being played. And you talked about it the one time Slayton brought the ball across, and that one extra dribble got him to finish on the right-hand side. So those opportunities are going to be there. It's just make sure you're doing it within the flow and utilizing the big fella as well.
And if Carter Wilkinson can knock down a couple more from that baseline on the right side, opposite side of the floor of Grant, that allows Wilkinson to have a little free range, because you got to stay out. He can't give as much help from that backside.
The weak side help just has to cheat out a little bit more. And
got to make a shot here or there to soften the defense, and that's what DeSmet has done so far. Aberdeen Christian back out to do some shooting. We'll take a break, step away, come back, and get you set and ready for our second half of play from Walks Arena. You're watching Class B Boys State Basketball Tournament action on SDPB Sports.
Reading opens every door to learning, opportunity, and understanding. The South Dakota Department of Education is strengthening literacy outcomes for students across our state, helping educators connect classroom instruction to the science of how children learn to read and write.
Through professional support and shared resources, schools are building strong foundation in literacy for every learner. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
Protecting crops. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station in Armour provide agronomy services, fertilizer products, and crop analysis systems, including Agronomy 365. This system helps manage your field's performance, supporting small-town communities while hiring and training local youth. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station in Armour, serving area producers and their communities.
From Walks Arena, courtside, I'm Brad DeBeer alongside Steve Erickson. Consolation championship game as a trophy versus a plaque up for grabs. Again, we'll have the awards handed out, team awards, individual awards handed out immediately following this contest. We'll then visit with the winning coach behind their picture-taking line somewhere on either end, depending on who that may be when we get done. Tonight, we will visit with the leading coach as they go out at halftime, so we get a little take on what their thoughts are, like we did last night. Beers hollering away at the ABW.
ABW, yeah.
Crazy stuff. Well, we have gone, I didn't even count the days because sometimes it seems long and then all of a sudden it's done, but we've gone through a long season, definitely, of high school hoops, but again, those of us that are a part of it, as far as on the sidelines and the gyms, practicing or whatever, middle of January, you go, whew, this is starting to drag a little, and then all of a sudden, it's the end of February, it's done.
Yeah.
It's just amazing how fast this winter sports season went.
I mean, for the most part, it had pretty good weather until region play started, and kind of, so, yeah, not too many having to reschedule things or any of that kind of stuff, so it got them in when they were scheduled.
Well, we were talking, who were we talking with yesterday before one of the games? I'm trying to think. It wasn't Galen. I don't know, somebody from Viberg earlier stopped by. We were talking anyway about the number of days. I said, well, we got 7 Mondays left of school if you don't count Easter Monday. And he looked at me like, wait, what?
Yeah, Brett Mellon, the superintendent.
That's who it was. Yeah, it was Brett,
at Viberg.
He looked at me like, what? And I'm like, well, that takes us to the middle of May. That's May 14th.
We still got to get a track and a softball and a golf season in there, so.
Insane. And then you just hope, fingers crossed, we didn't have to reschedule any basketball games this year, which was nice. You guys, I think, had one, didn't you?
We had one,
yeah,
which we were able to just doubleheader the next night. So it was
fingers crossed that track, golf, and softball don't have reschedules, because the number of days shrinks fast.
Those ones are hard to reschedule. Those are more cancellations because there is no more days.
No, that's exactly what happens. And I know I've had some of our folks ask once in a while about all the different track meets I list on our schedule, and I said, well, I'll let you know if we're really going to go to all those, but we have to have them so we know where we're going if we have cancellations. KB in the house. We're ready. The ABW will give it to Slayton Wilkinson, and we're on the way. Luthburst. Down the court to Sinclair. Pull up, no good. Chased and saved. Brooks Jett, another rebound. Brooks got 8 rebounds in the game today. 3 short, no good. Luthburst will grab. He looks to run out. Crossover to the lane. Kick out corner. Carter Wilkinson loses the handle, gets it back. Short jumper. Carter's like the guy from High Point. Just shoots threes most of the time. Doesn't get a lot of two-point field goal attempts. Kaiser on the baseline. Luke up over the big fella, Grant Wilkinson, and Kaiser adds to his total.
Teardrop over there. That's what you see DeSmit too. They know they got Grant and size in the middle, so they can be aggressive on the perimeter defenders too.
Slayton Wilkinson for three. And Slayton into double digits with 11. Well, to win tournament games, you have to have X factors sometimes because your stars get guarded. And today, that ball tipped out of the hands of Grady Jett as he tried to put that up right away.
Yeah, if he just attacks out with two hands, he maybe comes down with it instead of trying to tip it.
Wilkinson blocked by Brooks Jett. Luke Kaiser pull up one-hander, no good. Tip it, no good. Rebound, Dylan Hofer underneath. Jett just missing the flush. Went between Carter and Grant Wilkinson and tried to flush that.
There's absolutely, watch this. There's absolutely no way he saw the rim going through those two guys. Just knew it was up there somewhere, but
that was athleticism at its finest right there. Not that I care who wins, but I wish that would have went down. Slayton Wilkinson walk up to the free throw line and shoot it, then get his own rebound. He is whacked to the ground by Grady Jett. Grady will pick up his first personal.
And that's some of the looks that the DeSmit guys are getting, whether it's Slayton Wilkinson or Kobe Sinclair too. Those sometimes are hard when you're just not necessarily being guarded to figure out how far you should go into the paint or where you should shoot it from, and kind of start getting in your own head about it a little bit maybe.
Yeah, and when you can just out on the perimeter, when you know you can just step into a three, you got a lot of room. That if you're a good shooter, that's when you have some confidence to shoot it. Rodriguez Martinez loses the handle. Loyal Smith Wade, by the way, checking in. First time we've seen him today.
Gave him some good minutes and a little spark.
He's been in two of the highlight reels that they show to start the highlight video or the hype video.
Just a freshman, but yeah, a couple impressive dunks.
Slayton Wilkinson on the right wing. Three-pointer on the way. It's like shooting practice for him right now. Foul Carter Wilkinson. Two hands on the back.
Good job by Kaiser with the block out.
Loyal Smith Wade will bring Aberdeen Christian across the timeline here, approaching the 5-minute mark of the third quarter. Smith Wade back out top. Kaiser, slobbing Grady Jett.
Going to the 2-3 here for a little bit.
Smith Wade, I think that was partially blocked on the flyby.
Smith Wade was asking for a hit on the hand.
Yeah. Kobe Sinclair now. Wilkinson zigged. He thought he was going to, Slayton thought he was going to zag. We'll take a break. 4:55 to play in our third quarter. We'll take a break. We're back with more on SDPB Sports.
Your Great Plains Case IH dealers know that hard work starts early, in the field and on the field or the court. Dedication, teamwork, pride. The values driving farmers also power South Dakota athletes. Growing crops or growing champions, it takes the same drive to succeed. Your local Great Plains Case IH dealers know the future is built by showing up day after day, ready to work, ready to win. Great Plains Case IH dealers, supporting schools, athletes, and the communities we grow.
At Muth Electric, we don't just power projects, we empower people. We invest in training, mentorship, and career development opportunities at every level. Because strong careers build strong communities. Your future is bright with Muth Electric. Muth Electric now hiring.
Out of the media timeout. We're ready to go in our third quarter as teams will come out of their huddles. 35-30. DeSmit with a 5-point lead. And Aberdeen Christian basketball. 3/4 of the length of the floor to go. Dylan Hofer quiet offensively today for Aberdeen Christian. Smith Wade on the left wing. Hofer out top. Trying to spread that defense up around a little bit. Back into a 2-3 zone now is DeSmit. And try to change things up out of the timeout. Kaiser 3, no. Rebound, Jett back up over Grant Wilkinson and in. Brooks Jett has worked harder today than we've seen him work in the tournament. Inside, I mean.
Yeah, the first 2 games kind of just floated around the perimeter a little bit more, but today.
Wilkinson, Slayton into Grant, blocked by Brooks Jett, out of bounds. You'll see the block.
Grant asking for on the hand maybe a little bit, but
yeah, I think he was way up high above the ball. Maybe on the follow through. The ball was already blocked out of his hand, I think, when that happened. But Luthmers to Carter Wilkinson. Back to Luthmers. Slayton Wilkinson, good flash.
Yeah, and that trying to get that backside, that diagonal they hit a couple times yesterday.
Shot clock violation as Luthmers hit it on the baseline after the shot clock. Probably a good thing we haven't had any dunks on that end. All the dunks have been the other end. That shot clock might just explode. I think they got it fixed finally, though. Skip pass, Smith Wade, baseline. Bumped out of bounds by Slayton Wilkinson. Slayton going to pick up his first personal foul. He runs right into him. Smith Wade. Give up to Kaiser. Patient is Aberdeen Christian right now. Oh! Dylan Hofer runs into Grant Wilkinson. And Grant going to pick up his third foul. See if he's still moving when it happens. Yes, that left arm.
Kind of moving.
Yeah, not even a doubt. DeSmit doubts it, but he literally brought his arm right into Hofer and knocked him to the ground. Smith Wade climbing the ladder to lay that one up off the glass, and just a little too strong.
That'll be Grant's third, but you're going to see him also play. I mean, he's smart about how he does it. I can't remember, Coach Greenhagen said he has not fouled out of a game, or maybe if it is, it's only one.
Jett with the rebound and a foul on Slayton Wilkinson. Again, he's upset about it, but not a bad foul. Brooks Jett's on the run, man. He's going to go right by him, and they're going to have numbers at the other end. So, not a bad foul. It's only Slayton's second. They're not shooting free throws yet. You got 3 minutes to play now with free throws to be shot if needed.
And there's times Slayton does that and gets away with it. You know, kind of that let him get by in, knock it away from the backside.
Luke Kaiser over Wilkinson, missed it. Dylan Hofer with the rebound.
Talked about Hofer as the point guard, his rebounding ability.
Kaiser, floater, no good. I think Luke changed shoes. He wasn't wearing those bright yellows all weekend, was he? I don't remember him wearing those. Tipped out of bounds. It'll be DeSmit basketball still. On the top, swing it left side, Carter Wilkinson. Slayton on the baseline, jumper, got it.
Timeout by DeSmit.
Yeah, we'll take a quick timeout on the full timeout called by DeSmit. We're back with more on SDPB Sports.
Are Peterson reps real-life seed heroes? Well, they've been known to go the extra mile. Literally thousands of extra miles every year.
And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson, we're that kind of seed company.
Since 1882, we've raised 5 generations of hardworking Americans on this land. Our great-great-grandfather believed in something simple: respect the land and it will provide. Anthem Oats, grown by us, shared with you.
From Wachs Arena, campus of Northern State University. I understand it's a beautiful day out. I can't even see sunlight from here. We're getting close, though. We'll be able to step outside for a moment. Short meeting at the conclusion of this one. Get a little something to eat.
And when you got the air, when you can feel the air conditioner on inside the arena, you know it must be nice out.
Well, and that's another thing. Kudos to Northern State and their whoever takes custodial crew or whoever takes care of that, because planning for a big crowd tonight start to cool the place down a little, because even last night you could feel it early, but then during that
it warmed up.
The whole night it warmed up quick, but it's still comfortable because they had already cooled it down. The right wing to the baseline now. Jet will kick it out. Tipped by Luthmers. It'll be Hofer. Give it up to Smith Wade. Smith Wade now. Back to Jet. Brooks Jet swinging around. Dylan Hofer down the lane. Kick out. Luke Kaiser 3. No, left it short. No legs right now for Luke on his jumper. Smith Wade another rebound though. Brooks Jet on the baseline. He maybe got away with a little push off and then lays it up and good.
Slayton's asking her maybe even to travel. He probably shuffled him there.
Well, if he got away with it, it's because a bottom official was just behind him. Like, it was just out of position. Not out of position, just in the position to not be able to see it. It was in the right spot. Grant tried to fire that down to the baseline.
Good look good set there by DeSmit, pulling Grant out to get guys out of the paint. And you're gonna Slayton's guy's gonna guard Grant too out there. They're gonna double Grant, and then you're running Slayton off kind of a back pick from Carter. Had him. Just got tipped away from Slayton on the pass there.
37-34. To the drive, kick out, Jet Johnson. Back to Kaiser. Dylan Hofer. A little more hop in the step of Aberdeen Christian right now as they move the ball around a little quicker. Brooks Jet in the lane, take it right into Grant Wilson. Up and throw it off the glass and in. Tried to draw that 4th foul, and Grant did a good job just standing there.
Just
but
straight up.
Kaiser were able to smash that into the backboard and in. Slayton Wilkinson.
DeSmit just one of their last 7 from the field, the Bulldogs.
Just gonna find a way to get the ball back in the hands of Grant. Wilkinson underneath. He hasn't touched it for a long time. 9 rebounds for Grant Wilkinson to go along with just 6 points. Chance for Aberdeen Christian to take the lead to close out the 3rd quarter. And a foul going to be called against Luthmers. Again, doesn't really make a lot of difference on that.
No, that's 5 on DeSmit. That's going to put Hofer at the line.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at the other side. Yes, you're right. I thought it was their first, but it was Aberdeen Christian only with 1 foul in the quarter.
Going to maybe get you the ball back for the last shot, I guess, but
does give you a chance to score it. Hofer free throw, got it. Hofer 3 points in the game. Point guard that can offensive rebound a little bit though is him. Yeah, he's tipped some balls out, kept them alive. And the lead goes to Aberdeen Christian. 38-37 with 15 and a half to play. And a 30-second timeout going to be called here by Aberdeen Christian. Interesting timeout just to talk things over maybe.
Brought in a couple subs just to buy a couple extra seconds here of rest for a couple guys, but I think wanting to get one defensive stop and bringing in some changes. Maybe you have to adjust your matchups a little bit, make sure everybody's on the same page so you don't give back that lead you just took right here.
Rodriguez Martinez, the only guy that's the same height as the coach. Matt Rohrbach in the middle. He just disappears. He's up looking at all. They're all looking.
That's not the tallest guy in the world.
No, it's just classic to watch their timeouts because he gets when they circle up into 30. He's in the middle of it. He's looking up.
It's like some of those NBA teams sometimes. With all those guys are huge. And Aberdeen Christian's got good size and length all up and down their roster.
Luke Kaiser, they list at 6'4", but long arms, and so he plays bigger. A little full court pressure. See if they can just try to force this into something they don't want to do. Going to try to trap it. Luthmers with 8-7, chased by Rodriguez Martinez. Knocks it out of bounds. He just flies all over the floor when he comes in, doesn't he? The disruptor. Up top, Carter Wilkinson, 3. No, Grant with the air ball miss, put up and in to go to the fourth quarter. Grant Wilkinson finally gets a touch and finishes at 39-38. We'll take a break. We're back with our final 8 minutes in the Consolation Championship on SDPB Sports.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
A good look at the Aberdeen Christian faithful as we come back out of the timeout to get ready for quarter number 4. In that timeout, as they were coming out, a lot of those parents and fans behind them. One more, they were saying, one more quarter. Showing everybody, one more, let's go, get out and get after it.
We mentioned that first game, too. It's for the seniors, it's your last 8 minutes. And
again,
underclassmen, you don't know if you're going to make it back to this spot.
And there's always conversation. Should we get rid of these other rounds? And it's just watch. No, we shouldn't.
No.
Not at this level. Class B level, play them all out always because the atmosphere is incredible. Look at all the little kids in the stands. This is what gets them excited about the sport, right? Keep them coming.
Even that first game, Sully Buttes and Viber Hurley. Slayton Wilkinson again, another nice bank.
He's got 15.
But yeah, even the first game, the 7th and 8th place game, and then this one, these kids are playing as hard as they did that opening night.
Yeah,
so, I mean, there was no...
Tough dribble. Jet, but missed it wide right. Aberdeen Christian going to stick with that full court pressure just early to see if they can disrupt what DeSmit wants to do. Wilkinson quickly down the lane, missed it. Brooks Jet throws it, gets it back off the touch. 1-on-5, Jet got it! 1-on-5 off the glass and in. Who do they call that one on?
I think it's on Carter.
It is on Carter Wilkinson, number 45, his third personal. Coaches are all hollering on the sideline. Bring it out, bring it out. Good take, Brooks. Yep. Finishes the three-point play. 19 for Brooks Jet. He's had a good one today.
Yeah. Throwing 11 boards, too. 4 block shots.
Yeah, he has come to play, the junior here in this final game of the 2025-26 basketball season. Luthmers pull up short. Pull for a rebound.
Double clutch it maybe a little bit. Shot it on the way down.
Hofer to Jet Johnson, 3, no. Oh, just about got it to roll back in. Grant Wilkinson with the rebound. Grant pulls down his 10th board of the game. 8 points, 10 rebounds for the big fella. Slayton Wilkinson. Grant gonna shoot the 3. Carter Wilkinson rebound to Luthmers, loses the handle, gets it back. No hurry. Oh, now yes, there's a hurry. That didn't catch the rim apparently, as the shot clock was down to 3. Here you'll see the foul inside as Grant got it. There's the slap by Brooks Jett.
Not that they're gonna have Grant out there all the time, but you can see a little bit of a change in the plan and bringing him out just to maybe open up that middle to get some driving lanes for their other guys.
And Grant makes good on that one. Chance for another double-double. Be 3 double-doubles in the state tournament. Knocks this free throw down. Too strong. Brooks Jett rips the rebound out of the air. Bulldogs by 1. 42-41 to Smith. 5:45 to play in our final quarter. Too strong. Grady Jett too strong on the rebound putback. Luthmers will run it out now. Slow it down. There you see Brooks Jett and Grady Jett just doubling up Grant Wilkinson down inside every trip. Slayton Wilkinson for 3.
Great shot by Slayton.
He's got 18. Kaiser tried to throw it off of Slayton Wilkinson, but missed him and then threw it right to Grant.
That was good defense by Slayton.
3 again? No, he was feeling it. Grant Wilkinson, rebound, put up, no good. Hofer, the other end, and a foul on Colby Sinclair. That's a lot of body. I mean, you're going to protect the shooter, right? Almost always. We'll go to our media timeout if I think they're going to get one. They're trying to get one. Lee called it. Now we got it. Lee was calling it over there, and then he's visiting with Coach Gruenhagen. We'll take a break. Back in a moment. SDPB Sports.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for all of it. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great. And we're here for all of it. See you at the game.
Lake Area Technical College provides hands-on learning and practical experience in real-world environments. Prepare for a career right out of school from the moment you step on campus for an education that can really be put to work. Lake Area Tech is the start of something new.
I can't imagine being anything other than a nurse. I'm also much more than a nurse. And working at Avera lets me find balance between the career that called me and a life that fulfills me.
Out of the media timeout, we'll have free throws. 45-41. Dylan Hofer will go to the free throw line. Lee Johnson trying to get the Smith out of their timeout or out of the timeout. Free throw line, Dylan Hofer. No good on the first for Hofer. Dylan will have a second opportunity. That one's good. Timeout, or not timeout, a substitution after the made free throw. Smith Wade in for Dylan Hofer. Hofer going to get himself just a little break. Kaiser will come all the way up to help and have to be ready to guard Slayton Wilkinson. Lutmer's crossover. It's a good matchup with Smith Wade.
Yeah. Noah's just a really good ball handler too. He changes speed and
we'll go the other way. Colby Sinclair just threw Grady Jett out of the way. And if you get a chance to see it, it's right there in the middle. Just pushed him.
The definition of an illegal scrim.
Yeah, when you put your hands out like that.
And then a little shoulder to help to boot.
Brooks Jett in the lane. Grady Jett, 17-footer, no good. We're gonna go foul gonna be called on Sinclair. It was his fourth. I didn't see it. Frustration by Colby Sinclair. Smith Wade to Kaiser now. Two-three being played by DeSmit. Try to keep Grant Wilkinson out of foul trouble. Throwing away as Slayton Wilkinson tried to bounce that out of there to Coy Van Regenwater.
A little bit too far in front of Coy to go run down. You can see the 2-3 from DeSmit really disrupted because you don't have driving lanes because you can't get to the paint to score. And once you get in the paint, you can't.
Smith Wade, three, no good. Rebound, Grant Wilkinson. Strong with the basketball that time.
If you're Aberdeen Christian, you're going to need one of those threes to fall here.
Yeah. Inside Wilkinson, no good. Shot it quick. Grant was trying to get it up there early and not have to body everybody up. Kaiser trying to go to Brooks Jett against Slayton Wilkinson. Kick out. Rodriguez, Martinez, the drive, the give. Grady Jett off the glass, no good. Brooks Jett, no good on the putback. Slayton Wilkinson will be fouled by Rodriguez Martinez. Well, no, they go on Brooks Jett. They call it on Brooks. His second personal. 3:06 to play, 45-42. Ho-hum, just another good one here at the Class B state tournament.
Defense, the name of the game here. Aberdeen Christian, their last 8 from the field. DeSmit, one of their last 7.
And again, yes, there's been some open look threes, but that's about the only open looks you get. There are no open shots within 16 feet.
Everything is contested really well.
Yeah. Lutmers will bring it up. 3 minutes to play for a consolation championship in Aberdeen. Grant Wilkinson inside. Up and no good, and a foul from behind. Call that on Brooks Jett, or is it going to be on Luke Kaiser? Nope. Maybe number
Grady Jett.
Grady Jett, okay. It's 2, not 3. Wilkinson. Grant with a double-double now. 10 points to go along with 12 boards. Brooks Jett, 15 rebounds on the other side.
We've mentioned it in the previous 2 games too. Grant's a good free throw shooter, so you can't just automatically foul him every time he catches it down low either.
Well, the fact that he's 3 of 4 is different. He doesn't miss many. It's not travel. Momentum can make you slide. If you're rolled over, then it's a travel. 2:22 to play. You got the timeout, 30-second timeout. You think with all the basketball people watch nowadays, they would know that that's not. It's not stop screaming. That's time, because it's not a travel.
No different than screaming over the back or
over the back. That's a reach.
Or over and back.
Yeah, over and back.
We had that one last night.
Yeah. To put on a clinic. Maybe Ingles will join us for a podcast. We'll have an officials podcast and just go over every rule that people yell about for no reason. Speaking of podcasts, Tim Casper and I are going to start a podcast. We're going to do a track podcast. It's going to be called Running More Than Just Their Mouth, an inside look at track and field in South Dakota. And we're going to get Casper's view on everything. That's a true story. I just got to figure out the logistics to get it all done.
How many batteries you got to record this thing?
We're going to limit it. So there's going to be a time limit.
How much of it's going to be on the right uniform colors and
we're working on it. So as the track season draws near, we're going to try to get that thing going. Luthmers to Slayton Wilkinson. He's going to shoot the three. Throw it long. Hofer's going to get a layup. Blocked by Luthmers and a foul. Wow, he extended. Going to get a body foul, though, I think, while he's in the air. Yep, foul called on Luthmers.
Yeah, Noah got up there well.
Got up quick.
Just clipped it, yeah. Refs are talking, maybe.
If it was off, it was
a little bit of a
goaltending.
Discussion because, they did change that rule this year, whereas in high school it's the same as the college rule. If it hits the backboard.
We're going to run it out the other way.
Oh, no, that's way early in the game.
Oh, yeah, that was way early. There we go. See Kaiser on the step through. Here it comes.
Here it goes.
If it's off the glass first.
Nope.
No. That's not goaltending.
We're still on the way up, and then Noah hit it against the backboard. So clean block, up top, got him with the body.
Yeah. And again, there's no replay being used until the last minute of the game or the last second shot, or if it's a 2 or a 3.
We show the replays and just get everybody riled up in the arena.
Well, and again, if you know the rule, and DeSmith was right, that was not going to be. They were looking at saying that's not goal. They were right. Ball was touched before they got to the board. They can confer, however, with their alternate official to get another set of eyes, I believe is how they do it. Timeout on the save.
But I think good job by all three officials in that instance, too, to just discuss it and see. And the thing that people don't understand is, too, not all three officials are looking at that exact thing every single time. That's not their job. They have different areas of the floor and different things they're covering. So sometimes when officials tell you, I didn't see it, that's not mine, that's why.
Yeah, it's true.
That's what I always tell them. Then they just need to help their partner see it better.
I echo those thoughts. Over and over, I echo that usually.
Well, like we've mentioned, and we talked about it last night a little bit too, but I think almost every replay that we've showed on some type of call like that this weekend has confirmed what they called on the court has been correct. So.
Dylan Hofer now with 1:50 to play. Will give up to Jet. Jet Johnson now on the wing from Grady Jet. DeSmith drops back into man-to-man. Kaiser to Grady Jet, blocked by Grant Wilkinson. Saved over there by Van Regenmorter. He's done a really good job coming in and just doing what he's supposed to. Role player, take advantage of some opportunities that he gets open looks, but do the little things. Then Regenmorter. Carter Wilkinson, 3. Dagger time! Carter Wilkinson!
shot from Carter in the corner, and seen him do those all year long.
Kaiser looking for a foul, and he's going to get it. I don't know if that's going to be on Grant.
I think maybe on Slayton.
Yeah, it might have been from behind. Yeah. Oh, he called it on.
I think it should have been Slayton, but I think he gave it to Coy.
Yeah, he did. I didn't see. It was one of those two. It was not on Grant. Wilkinson and Kaiser. Grant Wilkinson and Luke Kaiser is having a conversation while they're waiting to shoot the free throws. Luke was pointing at his eye for something, talking to Grant. Grant just shaking his head. Jet Johnson out, Smith Wade in. Some offense for defense, or defense for offense, more so in this situation.
Seeing this combination for Aberdeen Christian's kind of going to be their full court pressure look.
Yep. Brooks Jet will get back. Kaiser will come up. Smith Wade, Rodriguez Martinez. Kaiser will make them both. He's got 18 again. What a tournament that young man's had. Timeout, DeSmit. That'll be their third use. They'll have 2 left. Kind of reset things for you here. 57.2 seconds to play. 3 timeouts, or rather 2 timeouts remaining now for DeSmit after that called Teal. 2 timeouts remaining for Aberdeen Christian. 3 fouls on Aberdeen Christian, 5 on DeSmit. So the Knights will be shooting free throws out, and Aberdeen Christian's got 1 to give, which when you're full court in it, that's good. The Golden Whistle checking in. We appreciate you.
You're our favorite, Mike.
I only know a few Mikes, but you're still our favorite Mike. Possession arrow will be in favor of DeSmit, or yeah, also of DeSmit. So 5-point lead. There you see the boys in the Stewie t-shirts behind the bench. That's what they, that's their affectionate term for Grant Wilkinson. Aberdeen Christian student section. Again, good crowd on hand here most of the day today. It's thinned out a little bit here as this one's gone on, but I'm sure it'll be, again, real busy, real fast here this afternoon. Doors will reopen in an hour, by the way. They're not going to have very much time to get cleaned up this time, but that crew does a fantastic job. And Regan, great decision. And a foul going to be whistled. They had 1 to give. So now DeSmit will get an inbound in front of their own bench. Yeah, that's a smart play by Coy Van Regenmotor. Dad comes over, fixes the clock. Coy's making good decisions down the sideline. Come on. What a day for the Van Regenmotors. Wilkinson gets it. Luthmers. Dribble around. Look at those handles. Oh, my. That was something.
Great job. And again, another new rule changes here. There's no 5-second closely guarded. So Noah could have technically dribbled that without the 5-second count.
Oh. Cross it over, then go between the legs front to back, then go back to front to get away from the next group. Spend time with a basketball in your hands, young people. If you can dribble and shoot, if you want to play basketball and you can dribble and shoot, there's always a spot for you, right? I mean, there just is. .2 seconds to play. 1 of 2 for Luthmers. Jet Johnson fading away in the corner. No. Rebound Carter Wilkinson to Luthmers again. Luthmers fouled quickly by Brooks Jet. Brooks will pick up his 3rd. Five seniors on this Aberdeen Christian squad.
Newcomers knocks that one down to get himself to 10 points on the afternoon. Aberdeen Christian still a 7-point game, but they have not made a field goal in the last 6.5 minutes. Had a couple free throws in that stretch, but no shots from the field.
Wow. Yeah, 0 for their last 11. Make it 12 now on that shot.
Yeah. 15 of 59 for the game, just 25% from the field.
I think we're going to get another senior for Aberdeen Christian in. Although I don't have a number or a name or number for this one out of the program, number 25. You don't either. Jayshawn Anderson is number 11. A foul on Jet Johnson, 23.3. Jet will pick up his second. Carter Wilkinson makes both of these. Pretty much seals it. Daniel Opdahl possibly. Okay. Yep. So Opdahl wearing 25 rather than 24, what we had in our programs, our notes. .3 to play. 3-possession game right now. Stays 3 possessions and a 9-point lead for the Bulldogs. Rodriguez Martinez. Step back 3, too strong. Rebound tipped out of there. Rodriguez Martinez, too strong. Tip back out of there. Jet Johnson, too strong. Rebound Sinclair. Not going to get a whistle. Now we're going to get a foul to get a whistle. Look, conversation.
Sinclair saying, I was shooting it.
Yeah. Well, I think he and Jet Johnson were talking, and Aberle was jumping in there to, like, they thought they were.
Well, Coach Rohrback wanted to foul so they could get more subs in the game here too.
And Wilkinson Cousins hug out there, Grant and Slayton, as they know their time in this game is coming to an end. As subs will come in now.
So 7 minutes without a shot from the field for Aberdeen Christian.
And it's what DeSmit makes you do sometimes.
They can turn it up, man.
It's just,
and there's nothing easy against them. I mean, you get by the perimeter defenders, and then all of a sudden, oh, hello, there's 6'10" waiting for you to affect a shot. So,
and you can be aggressive on the outside as a guard with having that behind you. I mean, all right, I'm gonna run out there. If they get by me, so what, right? Like, good deal. Clock starts. Rebound taken out of there.
Nate Wilkinson.
Nate Wilkinson, the 6'5", 8th grader. 56-45, an 11-point victory for DeSmit. Take a break, back with our awards in just a moment on SDPB Sports.
As much as you have accomplished, there are times you'd rather not go it alone. While you determine what direction you go, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with community. Go with neighbors. Go with understanding. Go with support.
You hear about work-life balance like it's a big equation you have to find the answer to. But I think it's much simpler than that. So simple it was right in front of us. Start with the life you want, and everything else will follow.
Are Peterson reps real-life seed heroes? Well, they've been known to go the extra mile. Literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson, we're that kind of seed company.
Back in Walks Arena, let's give out some awards.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the center of Don Meyer Court as we award today's team awards for the 5th and 6th places in Class B. Presenting the awards are Christina Sage, Associate Executive Director of the South Dakota High School Activities Association, along with representations from our corporate partners, Shanna Anderson of Sanford Health, Jared Beal of Dakota Bank, Mark Roselle of Farmers Union Insurance, and Sergeant First Class Missy Weigel for the South Dakota Army National Guard. Earning 6th place in the 2026 B-Boys Tournament are the Knights of Aberdeen Christian. Jet Johnson, Dylan Hofer, Grady Jett, Luke Kaiser, Brooks Jett, Loyal Smith Wade, Raymond Rodriguez Martinez, Jashawn Anderson, Logan Rivet, Max Dinger, Charles Eichler, Owen Russell, Asher Keller, Brian Akanger, Daniel Opdahl, Carter Ingemanson, Caleb Holsing, Gabe Eichler,
Check.
Aiden Shoneman, Andrew Schwab, Isaiah Shaving, Ryder Shaving, Noah Sifkin, Liam Vole, Simon Voorhees, assistant coaches Marcus Robinson, Khalil Bolden, Jared Becker, and the head coach of the Aberdeen Christian Knights, Matt Rohrbach. One more time, your 6th place finishers, the Aberdeen Christian Knights. Finishing in 5th place as your consolation champions, the DeSmet Bulldogs. Noah Ludmers, Slayton Wilkinson, Coy Van Regenmorter, Jordan Botkin, Graydon Henrik, Colby Sinclair, Mariano Lazaro, Anthony Escobar, Owen Anderson, Grant Wilkinson, Nate Wilkinson, Gatlin Wink, Carter Wilkinson, Kylan Botkin, Brindley Wilkinson, Matt Burkle, Abner Rivera, Assistant Coach Daniel Bettine Jr., and the head coach of your consolation champion, the Smith Bulldogs, Jeff Gruenhagen. DeSmet will have a welcome home tomorrow at the Dog Pound at 2:30. Ladies and gentlemen, your 5th place finishing consolation champion, DeSmet Bulldogs.
And your awards have been handed out. And again, Steve, just a battle. Every game has just been a literal dogfight. And the Bulldogs in this one prevail with a great second half once again.
Yeah, and we've seen it all tournament, and teams are going to come in and give their best shot.
Once again, we'd like to thank everybody.
Great teams, because there's 8 great teams here, so it's been fun and very worthy. Good to see DeSmet bounce back and pick up 2 hard-fought wins after, kind of a heartbreaker that first night for them. But that's what it's about, is rebounding and coming back to play your best and finish out your seasons.
Yeah, that's for sure. Head coach Jeff Gruenhagen. Jeff, congratulations once again. Boy, you held them to no field goals the last 7.5 minutes of that game. DeSmet defense again wins you the games.
Yeah, we try to make that our thing, that we got to get out and play, and we changed a little bit, played some zone in the second half, but sure seems like they were scoring a lot. I didn't realize it was 7 minutes, but right before that they scored a whole bunch.
Made some free throws, just no field goals. But talk about some of your kids though. Grant just gets double teamed, triple teamed. There's 4 guys on him sometimes. Today, though, it was Slayton Wilkinson. It was Luthmers that made some big shots for your team.
Yeah, everybody kind of chipped in. They chose to sag off Slayton. Hasn't scored much in the tournament. He kind of stepped it up. He kind of took him a while to get going. Took a couple of maybe bad decision shots, but he's willing to shoot the 3 and hit the 3. And I don't think anybody on our team is. Luthmer is by far our best 3-point percentage guy, and he shows it. He's looking for it, but everybody hit some big shots. Carter's shot in the corner was no bigger either, and Slayton's shot from the corner, it kind of evens out. And Grant believes in those guys, so we just stick together and roll with that.
Every game in this tournament, just a battle. And again, the consolation championship, the 3rd day, guys that haven't rested. They played, 64 minutes or whatever. Incredible effort by your kids.
Yeah, and Grant was, a little sped up today. Thought he rushed a few shots in there, but those are big guys too, leaning in there, trying to get him off before somebody pokes it out of his hands. And, for everybody to just keep on battling. And it was great because none of them sat out much. Slayton didn't practice until the Tuesday before the tournament, coming off the Dubrook game. He spent a couple days on crutches, and so great hats off to him to just bounce back and have a great tournament.
Special group of seniors you say goodbye to.
Yeah, those 3 guys, Colby, Slayton, and Grant, meant so much. They've been through a lot. They waited a long time to play themselves because we had great guys ahead of them, and it's just been fun that they waited their turn and they got to have a successful tourney.
Jeff, appreciate the time as always. Thanks for everything. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks for what you guys do too. It's great to listen to.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Jeff Gruenhagen, head coach of the DeSmet Bulldogs. All the respect in the world to that guy and his program. We'll take a break. We're back with more on SDPB Sports.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm onto her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. AgTegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. AgTegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
You're committed to building relationships, to exceeding expectations, to serving your community. Your financial partner should share your vision and your values. For 130 years, we've stood by South Dakotans. We've been there, we'll be there. Convenient, connected, committed. Bank West, member FDIC.
Educators across South Dakota are coming together to elevate, educate, and empower. This June, the Department of Education hosts the South Dakota Literacy Conference in Mitchell, a gathering dedicated to advancing the science of reading and sharing new insights into how students learn, exploring research and real-world strategies for South Dakota educators to move literacy forward for all learners. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
Consolation Championship action wrapping up with the DeSmet Bulldogs, your consolation champions here in Aberdeen. Highlights as they roll. Thank you, Levi, for putting all that together, by the way. As you see Slayton Wilkinson step up, you heard Coach Gruenhagen talk about him. Hit some big shots tonight to help his team, and that just kind of released a little pressure off of Grant Wilkinson.
Yeah, Slayton finished with 18 points and 8 rebounds, and he's kind of the guy that always does dirty work and is going to guard the best perimeter player from the other team. But tonight, yeah, they sagged off, they doubled off him, and he kind of took that challenge upon himself and put himself in the scoring column for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, take a look at some of the rest of the stats as we kind of roll through this here.
Yeah, Aberdeen Christian, obviously we talked about it towards the end of the game. They're 15 of 63 for 24% from the field. No field goals that last 7+ minutes of the game where DeSmet just kind of put it away. 20 of 54 for the Bulldogs, 37%. Some individual performances, we said Slayton Wilkinson with 18 and 8 rebounds. Noah Luthmer's 11 points and 6 rebounds. Carter Wilkinson hit that big 3 to kind of the dagger. 10 points and 6 rebounds for Carter. Grant Wilkinson hauled in 13 rebounds, 9 points, was held to 9 points today. But again, that supporting cast stepping up for the Bulldogs to help them bring home the consolation championship. On the other side for Aberdeen Christian, Brooks Jett, 19 points, 15 rebounds. Brooks, we said, was kind of quiet the first couple games, but really showed out today. Luke Kaiser continued his great state tournament. He had 18 points and 11 rebounds today. And then just some other guys for Aberdeen Christian that I thought played really good defense for them. But again, they just struggled offensively. And we touched on it. You talked to Coach Gruenhagen about it. That's what DeSmet kind of hangs their hat on, is their defense. And we mentioned it during the game, too, when they went to that zone. Yeah, those guys up front can take some chances, because when you get by them, then you're getting your shot adjusted in the middle or blocked or whatever it is with the big guys down low for DeSmet. So hats off to the Bulldogs for a consolation championship. And like we talked about, coming back after that tough opening night to get 2 wins at the state tournament.
Let's take a recap of what happened here earlier today as we saw Viborg Hurley, the #1 seed, end up taking home 7th place, 72-53 win over Sully Buttes. And then that score should be flipped. DeSmet over Aberdeen Christian, 56-45. Sets up tonight's matchups in our championship championship Saturday night. Lyman and Wall in our 3rd place game at 5 o'clock. And then Castlewood and Freeman for a state championship. Your defending champion Warriors will take on the Flyers, who are no stranger to championships after they won a state football championship this last fall. That'll do it for this session. We'll do it again here rather soon, actually. Doors open again in about 37 minutes, and then we'll get ready to tip it off about 5 o'clock tonight or so. Have a wonderful afternoon. For the guys in the truck, for the crew on the camera, thank you all. For Steve Erickson at the table, I'm Brad